Yo, today's show is sponsored by ExpressVPN. Your online activity should not be public, so protect yourself at expressvpn.com/achievement.
This is like the earliest we've been in a while. Hey, welcome to Off Topic. That's the show you're watching. We're sponsored by ExpressVPN. Don't put your online data at risk, you fool. Get protected at expressvpn.com/RTTV.
Learning to ride.
What are you whispering about?
I'm reading the user manual on your new electric skates.
Not yet. Hey, you got me, Mikey. We got Lindsay, Matt, Jack, and Blaine.
Hey.
From STF.
Blaine.
You were just streaming right before us.
That's right, we're playing WarioWare.
Whoa.
The most nonsensical game. I'm sure you guys
Part
Is that why you
10.
kind of look like Luigi a little bit?
I was wondering.
You got like the Luigi
Just-
overall?
I don't know why you
this
were in the
This is my
overalls.
work uniform.
Oh.
You guys hired me, right? So I'm wearing green
yeah.
first day of school.
Sure.
You're painting her off.
It's a pretty olive-looking green.
We needed someone to harvest the crops, and Blaine looks very prepared for the job. Okay, let's let him do it.
Finally, those parsnips.
Yes,
They've
oh my
been
God.
dying for a
It's
while.
supposed to be Fire Luigi. You know when he
Yeah, exactly. He's got a little fire. Yeah.
Right.
With assistance from your friend, put one foot on the middle
So-
of the mainframe's foot mat.
With
When
your-
comfortable, stand up straight and look ahead while stepping up with the other foot.
That
You
assumes
make it-
Do you have to have
Sounds
friends?
so-
Yeah.
Try to avoid rocking back
too.
and forth.
Oh, well, that's impossible.
Oh, Jesus.
So what we're doing
Yeah,
is
in the manual,
we're
it's
in
like,
the
you might die.
we're in the hoverboard era in Achievement Hunter
Yeah.
right now, because we have hoverboards and we have space, and we're
hoverboard.
glad to be out of our houses.
Yeah.
Space age.
And we filmed a video with them that hasn't come out yet, and boy, they're in rough shape.
Yeah.
One of them straight up doesn't work. Two of them are kind of like clanky.
Yeah.
It's not good.
There were some collisions.
There's a lot of collisions. So we're looking. They get very
They get
hot.
really hot, really
So we're looking up stuff, and Jack found these they're like hoverboard skates.
Yeah.
They're just little platforms you stand on, but they're just like they're like the size of your shoe.
Yeah, and there's no strap or
There's
anything.
nothing.
You stand on
It just
top of
like I fall off one hoverboard enough. Now you just have two little
Yeah.
ones.
If y'all seen
Yeah.
Big Hero 6, it straight up looks like
Oh
the
my
skates from
God.
Big Hero 6.
Holy
Yeah.
shit.
Is this kid doing something?
This guy's great. I'm
We're
afraid
all just
that
watching a video.
I would
Right.
bounce
On the
and then
podcast.
one
Look
leg
at
would
this.
go one way,
Yeah.
one leg go the other way.
Look
and
at
then
this
you
guy
just
spinning around, Michael.
I'm looking. Look,
He's got
here's
no
here's the biggest problem.
Here, zoom in on this.
They
Nick
don't
back
do
there.
that.
Don't. Yeah.
Look at him just cruising around on a
Okay,
little
well, you can
hover
actually
skates.
see that. Here's the thing, though, again, and the reason why I don't think
It's
we can
free.
use them is that kid is in like a fucking basketball
Oh,
court.
this
with,
kid
like,
has a
asphalt.
beard, by the way.
Whatever. We have our office
Old
with
kid.
15,000 cables on the floor.
Look at him go!
Oh my God.
Very excited.
He's just spinning around.
Feels young again. Let him
That's,
have
I
it.
guess. The biggest hazard with hoverboards for us are all the cables and the bumps.
Yeah,
That's what
yeah.
throws you off them.
Well,
I don't know how we could possibly do it with those little shoes.
I tried hoverboarding for the first time ever on episode 300 of this, like on the post show thing, and I did not go well. Matt and I both tried to not go well. And
This
I'm
is
like,
the
you know
bad
what?
spot to do
you
it, though. You
decided
need
to learn.
space.
I decided to learn.
Yeah.
So like I was like,
I
you know
gave
what?
up.
I'm gonna figure this out. And now I'm
Yeah, then we broke them all.
I'm okay. I'm okay. I'm not. I want to say I'm like adept. You guys can like just smoke around on those
Blaine, I
things.
feel like you should know.
I'm comfortable on.
As the newest hire in Achievement Hunter, this is how we
Yes.
start our day now. We come in and everyone silently finds a hoverboard and we sit down or stand on it and then we just zoom around
I'll
the
say
office for
though,
like 10
it's
minutes.
usually, I mean, anybody's welcome to it, but it's usually Trevor, Alfredo, and myself. And if
Yeah.
Gavin shows up,
dare
now
you.
those
One
are the.
wheel, right?
See, that's the
usually-
thing. Yeah,
that's his. Yeah, so
Yeah.
he brings that with him, and so he's actually kind of shit at the hoverboard, but he's the only one who's very good at the
He's
hoverboard.
like
see-
doing fucking tricks on the
Yeah,
one wheel.
he rides like a surfboard because you gotta like. I can't fathom standing on it and then leaning backwards because that's how you have to turn to the right if you're standing on it.
See,
right
and that's the
first.
thing. I can do that. I can't do as well as Gavin, but I can do the one wheel. Like, because I used to skateboard, so I'm at least okay at that.
You know the
Yeah, I know like the
side to
side type of thing.
I
Can't
feel
do
like
the hoverboard.
with the hoverboard, like you either feel like you're gonna fall forward or fall backwards, and you just feel vulnerable no matter
Yeah,
what.
Yeah.
That's how it was for me. I felt like I was actually more comfortable on the one wheel because it felt more like skateboarding. Like I knew
So you can roll it.
if I ate shit, I was going shoulder first in the ground. Where a hoverboard, I'm like, if I eat shit, I'm going face
You
first.
just
in the
run.
ground.
I feel like
Yeah,
it's
no,
Go face
a
first.
good difference between the two is like, have y'all skied or snowboarded? Either of
Yes,
you?
I broke
Okay.
my arm snowboarding.
Yeah. That's
Yeah, no.
I dropped out of ski class when I was a kid.
sorry. I passed
pizza, french
bunny
fries.
slopes with flying colors. Yeah. Me and
They did
4-year-olds.
French fries and pizzas.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. But that's how I feel when you're on the standing hoverboard. I'm like, that feels like the ski mentality of like lean forward a little bit. You're gonna feel the pressure against your shins with the boots that you have. And then snowboarding is exactly like the one wheel, which is why I hate the one wheel and almost killed myself on it. Much rather do the
How did
seating.
you know?
What? The
How did
seated
you
one.
drop out of ski class? Isn't that? It's like a 30-minute class.
Yeah, no, I was like,
Like, fuck it.
4, and they had chicken nuggets, and I was warm, and they served that before
Because
class.
I went
Yeah.
skiing like twice in my life, and the first time they're like, "We'll teach you how to ski," and it was about 20 minutes.
Yeah.
It's like the idea of you going,
After,
"I quit."
after
Can't tell me what to do.
I'm gonna wait
Yeah.
at the bottom of the mountain.
Well, after 5 minutes, they pulled him aside, like, just so you know, you're failing.
Yeah.
You really have to pick it up.
Blaine's like, this isn't pass fail.
Skiing is very easy. Snowboarding is significantly more difficult than
Yeah.
Yes.
skiing.
I feel like it'd be the other way around because with skis,
no, it's-
your ankles are just completely like exposed.
But,
I could go.
I guess having no experience on, like, again, I don't know how similar it is to skateboarding, but like a balance device, like a skateboard or a surfboard or whatever, skis, it's still mostly your feet and your
Yeah,
legs, right? You don't have to really balance as well.
No, there's also training skis, and they have this for water skis too. I cannot water ski. I tried, and I'm ass
That's
at it.
apparently quite hard.
It's very difficult, but they tie the front together so you can kind of get the muscle memory of keeping your legs together and building that muscle strength that you need. But yeah, I don't know why snowboarding was more difficult. I guess what was weird for me is if I'm facing this
Hard as
way,
hell to stop.
it was hard to turn where you have to like face your back to the bottom of the slope. I'm like, don't die, don't die, don't die. Like, okay.
I feel like stopping a snowboard though, you just swing your legs
you
out
swing your leg
front.
out, yeah.
But like stopping skiing though, if you're going fast, and it requires you to tilt your ankles in,
Yeah.
which does not feel right at all.
You could do the
Yeah,
same
or
thing with
just-
skis, though. You could turn.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
You could.
Yeah.
That would be cool.
But then,
Yeah.
then you tear your one ankle into the other
Oh,
one.
if you rip it
Yeah,
off.
yeah.
Or just jam the poles
Your
right into the
ACL
ground. You
goes,
stop,
yeah.
stop right away.
It's not like
Matt just got straight for the tree.
snow is soft, you know. It's like still pretty rough. You tumble down a mountain.
Yes.
But like, dude, water skiing is just like your ass is getting dragged across wet pavement.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
Yeah.
it's not like, oh, water. You're like, either I'm getting dragged like behind a moving vehicle, or you're just kind of left in the ocean.
Yeah.
You're like, come back and get me.
Yeah.
It all
Could
sucks.
they have like a you suck at water skiing? It becomes paragliding, like that sort of thing, where it's
there
like
you go.
you hit a button, like.
Oh, the eject.
You do both, right?
Have any of you guys ever kneeboarded before, like behind a boat?
No.
No.
The idea of that makes me uncomfortable because
Oh,
I
yeah.
feel like you're strapped in.
Yeah,
So
well,
if you flip, and theoretically
You're just drowning. It's just a prolonged drowning.
It's not like you're buckled in super hard. So kneeboard, I did it like once or twice when I was a kid. I really liked it, and this like kneeboarding is not a thing, I guess, anymore. But because you basically lay on your belly on the kneeboard and just kind of like let the boat pull you until you get some speed, and then you just bring your legs up and then you sit on it and you basically strap yourself on while you're moving.
That seems like too many things.
I
to
just
do.
like
Difficult
being
once
in
you
the
get
boat.
going.
Have you ever gone
Right?
intertubing with someone
Oh,
who's got like a
tubing's fun.
powerful boat and they got a big fucking
Yes.
suit?
Blaine.
Yeah.
Talk about your past.
Oh, that's
What's up?
so my uncle, he's like some millionaire out in Oklahoma. He works in the oil industry. So he's just
Yeah,
like
just-
loaded
just
and he's got
some,
all,
you know.
he's just got a bunch of money.
Shut
and
Blaine's uncle.
he would just fucking rip us around the lake. And I remember like skipping on my ass on the water. He was going so far.
Yeah.
And fast.
My father, similar mentality. He loved
Also a
doing.
millionaire.
He'll describe himself. I don't want to describe anyone as rich or not, but he did have a boat. We'll leave it at that.
Well,
you know,
but he's
yes.
on the podcast.
Yeah,
Come on.
but you know,
Yeah.
like Blaine's uncle over there.
Don't
They
call
hang out.
Bruce Wayne a millionaire.
Billionaire with a B.
billionaire.
Yes.
I'm not rich, I'm wealth.
He would do the same thing with the inner tube, but what he liked to do is he would take super duper tight turns in the boat, and the slack would happen on the rope.
Roll the boat.
Yeah, no. So you're sitting there on the inner tube watching him turn, you're like, it's about to whip the shit out of me. And as like
Yeah.
a 10-year-old kid, he'd be like,
Dude.
and pew! Like, there we go.
That
He's like, I had kids to see how far I could throw.
I've waited 10 years for
My dad's
this.
like, hell yeah, woo!
That just reminds me of that fucking that gif of the or whatever. It's like a short video that people flipping that boat. That rules.
Oh,
That's
oh,
It's like,
it's like, oh, they're about to have a bad
Well, didn't they
That's cool.
They made it a Harlem Shake, and then they made it a boat safety video, didn't they?
Oh, did
Yeah,
they?
I'm pretty sure they took that footage
But
and made it
last
like,
year
be
came
safe on
one
the boat.
before the other.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you know.
so do you think
chicken
they
and egg
paid them
scenario.
for that footage to use in a boat safety video?
Oh my God, you're under a
Well, their
controversy here.
families.
Yeah.
The conspiracies.
They're all dead.
Wait, did your uncle talk to my father who made that video?
Bro.
Has anyone here ever done a blob before? Like
Yes.
the thing where you jump off a ledge and hit the inflatable
heavy
thing and
weights.
launch
Church
people?
camp.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've never done that. I've always wanted to.
It's really fun. I'll tell you right now, though, my back has never hurt more than after that because it does not forgive.
Were you launched?
I was launched. I was waiting.
Okay.
I'm like, this is going to be awesome. And then I got,
someone punches you in the spine.
yeah, I got hit in the ear. I was like, ow.
They have that at camp, and I basically I remember seeing when my friends did it. My friend went so high. We
go
were at
really high,
we're at like a lake that was in like a canyon or some shit. He cleared he cleared like the top of it. I was like, oh my god, I don't want to do that.
He just goes in front of the sun, and Matt's like,
Did he go?
I was so high, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna go in there and play Metal Slug on the arcade machine while you guys die. Go for
There's
it.
not a lot of control because once you're launched up in the air, you basically just have to like correct yourself.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
you're just like 9 out of 10 times it's gonna belly flop.
Like never once was I playing Mario 64 and getting launched out of the cannon and be like, that looks fun. I think that's something I should do in real life.
IRL.
Yeah,
I would love
did.
that. I would love to launch people and
What?
be launched. I think that'd be
Jack,
Well, if I had the hat.
You could probably actually kill someone if you launched them off of that blob because I feel like one, you got
thought
the
you were gonna
heart
say
and then the physics.
Yeah.
I mean, I think the Jackass guys did it where they had like two like really big dudes launch Wee Man like a mile.
I gotta watch that
fucking
footage.
rad.
Yeah.
What do you do if you do kill someone? You just be like,
Walk away.
you gotta go.
The lake, they won't find it.
Gravity killed them, actually.
Yeah. I mean, the worst. I mean, you get whiplash,
Court.
obviously. You know, like but I mean, I
Yes.
imagine you brace yourself when you're about to be launched, right? You tense up and like.
I did this, and I didn't tuck my legs, which is probably my problem. So I think it I was flat, and then my center went first, and my neck was still back here.
Were you prepping like they'll bury me like this?
I'll just land in the water,
They'll
no
put the
problem.
the rods here.
My body won't be bursted by the sun. I'll just disintegrate up there. But the person who I thought got the most air, and Matt kind of jogged my memory for it, was there was a girl at the camp I was at who was a cheerleader, and she's like pretty petite girl. She was used to being a flyer, so she's like, dude, put me on the blob, and we'll have a big jock dude launch me. And she tucked and rolled into the air, and it was the coolest thing I've ever seen. Like, she nailed it, and it was just like, like perfect land.
Just like
I wanna
doing
be that.
zero polish.
Basically, yeah.
Is she out of the
10.
coma yet? Or-
We don't know. We don't know. We don't know. I never talked to her again.
Maybe next summer when things calm down, we can have like a blob day on Lake Travis and we'll launch Matt.
Yeah.
He'll die.
That'll be fun. I'll do it.
It's
You'll
like
launch Matt. I believe that.
zip lines are a thing that I don't get why they're still around and kind of popular. Because like that's like
it's cool.
It's kind of in the same vein of what we're talking about, but it's not as fun. We went, so there was a group of us that went to New Zealand after an RTX Australia. And I think like James and Elise were there and a couple other people. And we went on zip lines. We were drunk because we had been on a wine tour, and this is part of the wine tour. So we're just like, just fucking drunk, like zipping across
Best time
a
to zip
vineyard.
line.
Yeah, that was the
Yes.
best.
That seems like a nightmare.
So
Awesome.
my
Quick way to get rid of all the wine.
my friend's dad, he was an architect, and we were like, yeah, we'd like to zip line. That'd be pretty cool. So he was like, I'll draw out the plans. They built like a zip line in the backyard, and we're like, awesome. We got on it. He didn't put like a area to stop.
Oh.
You just
It
swing.
just, it was like, I remember my friend got on it, and I was like, yeah, it's your yard. You test it. And I like started seeing him go down. It looked it's like, that's a tree. That's a tree on
Was
the
it like
other end.
pole to pole, or was
It was like pole to
armed
pole.
out?
Like he had a tree on one side of the yard, and a tree on the other, and he drilled it into the tree.
Yeah,
and
that's
he just it was dangerous
Yeah.
as shit. But like,
My brother built a
hey,
zip line in his
he's
backyard.
all right.
You put a zip line in?
Yeah, he built. My brother's a carpenter. He built. You've seen it. Your brother's Jesus. Yeah.
Yes. He's
He
back.
built
only
a
carpenter.
tree house. It's like a fucking cabin.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
For
right.
my nephews. Like it's a fucking house. Like you could probably sell it for like $200,000.
Like Airbnb it?
Well, in
Yeah.
Austin,
It's better than most New York
$400,000.
apartments.
And it's just like, it's like, let's
Yeah.
do a tree house. I'm like, think you went a little far. I'm just
Yeah,
saying.
yeah.
And
Tree
so yeah,
mansion.
he built the zip line in the backyard because he's got like his backyard goes up, so
Okay.
he just naturally has like a big slope. And it's just like we haven't been there in a while because of recent events, and it's a pain in the ass to get all the kids.
I trust
but they're
that one,
like,
though.
they're like, oh yeah, no, I mean they've used it for like 2 years, so I think it holds up. But we're waiting to throw our kids on it. I was just like, He lives like right near the woods too, so his backyard is like a huge ass backyard, and then it's just
bears.
You have
Yeah.
that natural.
You see the bears.
You have the natural planet.
Jersey Devil.
Like privacy,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
It's just like trees.
Yeah.
So it's just like, just fucking zip line back to the house.
And see,
The bears only ride the zip line sometimes.
they just kind of nip at the kids as they fly by.
No, we can't really
You
get
can kick him in the face. See that again? I trust your brother does that for a living. People I knew like that. I always had a couple of friends who had like MacGyver zip lines in their backyard, and those were the kids who usually like played with knives or had like a bunch of airsoft guns or like crazy shit like that. We're like,
One of the kids always has a bow and arrow.
yes, yeah. What's up with that?
Yeah.
It was crazy. Anywho.
I had the friend that we would always play airsoft at his house. We'd have like full-on wars in his neighborhood street. Like one kid had like an op, like a sniper rifle and all this shit. I remember we put marbles in a paintball gun once. That was cool.
Solid.
It was like a real gun.
Yes,
Just-
seems like that.
Yeah,
That's what it is, a real gun.
That sounds like
rifle.
I think I've told this story, but my friend had an older brother, and he was like, "You guys can play paintball with us," but he froze the paintballs, and that was the only way
Cool.
we could play. I was
Not
like,
cool.
"Sweet."
Yeah.
Yeah, that's just throwing rocks at people at that point.
Basically.
Yeah.
This episode of Off Topic is brought to you by Purple. Picture this. You're in bed, ready for a good night's sleep. That's a good picture, okay? But it's hot. You're sweating. Your neighbors are hooting and hollering. So are the cicadas who emerged from the ground after 17 years of getting ready to mate, scream, and die. Very weird. Very weird thing to write. Is it peaceful? No. Unless you add a purple mattress into this equation. That's because only purple mattresses have the grid, a fancy ventilated design that lets air flow through to keep you cool. It's also super comfy, supporting your back and legs and cushioning you in all the right places and none of the wrong places. The grid also bounces back as you move and shift, so you'll never feel stuck like you do with memory foam. Sometimes it remembers too much. Let me go, you'll scream. The grid, it's very comfy. I have a purple pillow, and especially here in Texas, it's known to be sweltering. It's extremely comfy to lay on. It's very cool and breathable, and it's very fun to squish and squeeze. I cannot say that enough. I do like to squeeze it often. It's something to do when I'm not even sleeping on it. Start sleeping like a baby on your Purple mattress, risk-free with free shipping, returns, and financing options. Purple is comfort reinvented. Right now, you'll get 10% off any order of $200 or more. Go to purple.com/offtopic10 and use promo code offtopic10. That's purple.com/offtopic10, promo code offtopic10 for 10% off any order of $200 or more. Purple.com/offtopic10, promo code offtopic10. Terms apply. Get purple. Feel good.
Oh man, have you guys? When was the last time you guys went to Schlitterbahn?
I
Never
don't think
been.
I've ever been in my life.
Never been to Schlitterbahn, really?
I think so.
He has
Yeah,
an
I
excuse.
haven't.
Once.
I don't
Wow,
have it.
I went this past weekend actually. We
a loaded question.
It was the last weekend that it was open, like publicly. So Schlitterbahn's just a big ass water park in
it's
Central
seasonal.
Texas. Yeah, it's seasonal because it gets cold, and so. But anyway, it was the last weekend it was open, and it was one of those things where it was like $55 for a single day, or $99, and you get all next season. So I'm now an annual pass holder, Schlitterbahn, of course. And God, it's crazy, like being an adult going to that park versus like when I was a kid. I remember going on like the rides and stuff when I was a kid, like this is great. Now I'm like, holy shit, how has no one died on these things? Because it's very old, and some of the rapids and stuff they built out, I'm like, oh, this is sketchy as shit. Like this is something that's been around for like almost 50 years, and it's kind of like someone like, I don't know, sure, put this here, maybe that'll work.
Didn't
And
someone die at? Was it the Schlitterbahn here?
it was the one in Kansas, actually.
Yeah, just talking about
yeah,
that.
that was painful stuff. It was basically like someone who wasn't an engineer built something.
Cool.
And,
Because money.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. He played with Legos.
Like a backyard zip.
You know.
You know?
Right.
But
Wait
anyway.
a minute.
It's fun, man. Like water parks are fun.
They are fun.
I haven't
Been in, like years. Water parks are the least appealing because it's all the worst parts of a theme park, in my opinion.
Yeah.
You're just walking around wet. The water's not clean, so you feel kind of dirty.
Yeah.
I don't know.
No.
Is that just me, a popular opinion?
If I hit Six Flags, like we did Fiesta Texas a couple times, I grew up next to Six Flags over Texas, up in Arlington.
Oh yeah, fuck yeah. I went there all the time.
Yeah, absolutely. So I like to hit their water rides first because I knew the day was gonna be hot. So you're a little gross for a bit, but you just like air
this
off as
is-
you're riding coasters and stuff.
Yeah.
This is crazy talk to me. On the East Coast, it's like you don't do both. You do Six Flags or you do
yeah.
water
Yeah,
park.
yeah.
But also it's fucking cold there.
Yeah, you're gonna cool.
even in summer, you don't fucking go in the water and then go to the theme park.
Yeah.
I've never done that in my life. You go one or the other.
You just chafe otherwise.
Yeah, I mean,
I still chafe.
the closest you get is you do like the log flume or something, and then you're wet. That's like, it's hot as fuck. I'll splash a little bit, or
they have that big
you get the
race
bridge,
ride.
or sorry,
Yeah,
the one
like
I'm
the
at.
rapids.
There's the bridge
Oh,
where
with
the
the
log
splashdown
flume
thing?
hits.
Yeah.
You just stand on the bridge, you get blasted.
Yeah, but there's
and
also
then
like
you walk around.
There's the big tube one where it's like 8 people, like they're all
Yeah.
facing each other.
I
and it
love
goes down.
Rapids.
Yeah,
That shit
I love the
scarred me though
rapids.
because speaking of people dying at theme parks,
Yeah.
there was this one who's like a legend. It was at the Arlington one that it flipped and then, like a bunch of people had died on that one.
That's actually happened.
you're
a few
strapped
times.
in.
Those things have flipped,
Yeah.
like not just there.
It's
but-
also got like a belt underneath, so it's just like it's
Yeah,
if
it's
you
like
flip,
it's to
like,
move you
Yeah.
along
Belt
if you get
grinder?
stuck or whatever. Oh man, good point.
Talking about shoddy roller coasters.
Anyway,
too.
I'd do it.
Over Texas had the Judge Roy Scream, which it still does. Jack talked about that on
I
Annual
haven't
Pass.
heard that name in
Dude,
ages.
yeah.
That's Joy
That's a
Scream.
very first roller
I
coaster
went on
the
that
road.
so many times, but yeah, it's like broken as shit. It was broken as shit when I was riding on it. I should be dead right now, but I was just like,
broken,
again,
you mean janky.
another.
Janky is different than broken. Broken means it's not working.
When I can feel the roller coaster going, I don't know if we're gonna make it through
that's
this one.
that's janky. I agree with Jack. Yeah, it's a bit of a jank.
Broken is like, yeah, we can't put people on it.
Or it fell off
I
the
don't
track.
know if we're gonna make it, kid.
That's why the hoverboards are janky. Because you would rather them to go. One has like a tapping noise. One has like a gear you can
Yeah.
feel in your foot. One, the right side doesn't work anymore.
Yeah, one when
It's
you
all made of
turn, you
wood.
can feel it like the plastic
you hear
in the
go-
wheel.
Yeah.
Oh.
We fucking
See,
destroyed
on
those
my
things.
version, I had to stop it with my feet. Everyone there had to do Flintstone
roller
method.
coaster?
Yeah.
Oh.
I just remember those are the ones like I think it's Texas Giant or Judge Roy Scream. I think it's Texas Giant. It's the wooden one, and it's so locked with its like trajectory that you are just whiplash the entire ride.
You're like
Yeah,
just
that's a
a
Texas
prisoner.
Giant,
yeah, you
on
get
the-
off and like
yeah.
you feel cracks throughout the ride, and you get off and you're just like,
I
fuck.
remember
It's like the Rattler in Fiesta, Texas, too.
Yeah, it's like a car wreck.
Yeah.
At Great Adventure, there was one. They had the American Scream Machine. And that was like one of the older roller coasters. That one fucking sucks, right? So that one is like rickety as fuck. It's not like it's just as far as bouncing you, right? It bounces you like crazy. When I was a kid, I would go on it. Tyler's from New Jersey, so he knows the pain. When I was a kid, I was tall enough to go on it, but like short enough where like my head was kind of where the shoulder rests are, so it would go like you get off of it and you're like, I think I have a fucking concussion.
Now they have El Toro, which is awesome.
El Toro is awesome.
The new one.
That's Great America.
I don't know. Yeah.
No,
Great Adventure.
Great Adventure.
That's in
Where-
Jersey.
In Jersey, okay.
Yeah.
I gotta get up there.
It's in Jackson.
Dude, there's a whole.
That had
like,
King Ka, which is like the tallest roller coaster on the East Coast.
One of the things. Oh yeah, King Ka. That's another one I gotta check.
That one's cool. That you go up and it tells you like how high you are. There's little signs like you're now as high as this thing, like just landmarks.
No thanks.
So when I bought my annual pass for Schlitterbahn, I realized Cedar Fair owns Schlitterbahn now, which Cedar Fair is like kind of like a Six Flags type thing. They also do Cedar Point, Carowinds, and a bunch of other ones. And I think Great America is in there. I think they're owned by them as well. $200 and you get an annual pass for all of those parks. And it was one of those things. I was like, if I had my work credit card on me, I totally would have bought it. But it was like, I didn't. So I just got Schlitterbahn. But I'm trying to go to. I want to go to Cedar Point. I want to go ride Top Thrill Dragster and like up in Ohio. And there's so many different parks we want to get to now that I just want to ride all of them.
We talked about different rides in parks that you want to visit too, but I'm just curious because people have types. Are there certain types of rides that you prefer? Like I, as a kid, loved like loop-de-loop roller coasters, and now as an adult, they make me sick. I can't handle them.
I don't know that there's any one I prefer. I do like the over the shoulder kind of like secure things.
I like the leg
Either-
danglers.
I mean, either that. I mean, really, is anything that I feel like my shoulders are at. I'm like, okay, I feel secure.
Like I'm not gonna be like
You're not
thrown.
fucking.
But even
whipping
like
around.
Velocicoaster now, the brand new coaster in Orlando at Islands of Adventure, it's just like a lap bar. And that's it. And
just
it
seems
whips all over the place.
Yeah.
It's neat because like on something like Hulk, it has the over thing, but your head gets that whip around and you still kind of hit your neck and stuff.
Feels like two dudes just on side of you, just fucking.
Yeah.
working.
Two Hulks.
And I paid for that, damn it.
Like the new Velocicoaster, you're just loose. So like everything from like your hips up,
Yeah,
you're
the
just
danglers.
loose, and it's like, oh my god,
That's
this
like
is weird.
the Hulk is just like the poltergeist at Fiesta
was
Texas,
Batman
yeah,
like that?
right? Same thing.
Which one?
Batman dangle, or is that Superman?
Batman was dancing.
Superman, you like fly,
Batman
right?
dangle.
yeah.
Batman dangle. So Batman actually.
Great Adventure is the shit. They got like a dozen huge roller coasters.
Batman and there's one at SeaWorld called the Great White is the exact same coaster, just repainted, renamed.
I used to go on Great White.
I want to
quite
ride
a
both
bit.
of those.
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah.
They also have the Steely.
There was
Yeah.
There was a coaster. They had the Batman ride, and then they had Batman and Robin, which was like. It was one where there was the Batman car and the Robin car. And they were like side by side tracks, and it would shoot you. And it was kind of like a straight shot where like a spiral, this, that, whatever, and then it would come backwards.
Oh yeah.
And,
That's cool.
and I don't think the history of me ever going, I saw Robin open. It was always like two lines, and like that one's closed right now.
He's waiting until it's called
Yeah.
Nightwing.
There was the same thing was at over Texas called Mr. Freeze. It was like they shoot you up to a point, and then you just dangle there,
Well,
and then you come back down.
was it
Freeze
the
is
Jason
crazy.
Todd Robin? That might be why it was close.
Mr. Freeze is crazy because it was a launch coaster, and you would go up, and instead of like you feel like you'd stop, like your momentum would stop you, but then it would push you up higher. So you'd be facing straight up and then go up more, like it would catch you and actually send you up a little bit higher, and then you'd go back.
That's
down.
that oh shit moment that I fucking
Yeah.
love about
Yeah.
roller coasters.
Yeah.
I
You're
love
like,
and
I hate this.
Yeah, like I feel like I'm terrified at times, but I know at the same time I'm safe.
Yeah.
All of these things are safe. Like millions of
Have
people.
you
go.
ever been on one that like stopped, like it broke down?
Yeah, I've been on stuff. I mean, on all kinds of rides.
I know my dad was on one at Six Flags over Georgia, where it like had just started to do the loop and just stopped, and like he was basically just like sitting like horizontal like that for 3 hours.
the blood rushing.
When we
head.
did
God.
Yeah, just like
we did a Last of Us immersion in Australia where we made you guys upside down and like your fucking blood vessels popped.
Yeah.
That's a
Yeah,
loss.
it
and
was a
that
bunch of,
was the
like-
thing. He was okay because he was like
can't
just in the
remember-
half point. Like he was
still,
just kind of
yeah.
basically laying down, for forever.
Yeah.
But he's like people above him just passed out
That
at
was
some
cool,
point.
though.
And
I'm
sounds
like,
right.
With the
Goodness.
Last of Us thing or the roller coaster?
The last one. Well, both.
It was a good episode. Good
Yeah, we got a free pass. A couple.
Wow, that's
What was
yeah,
what was
exactly.
great too was we had landed like that day. So we flew to fucking Australia on like a 17-hour flight, landed, and they got hung upside down. like within hours. Within
Content.
hours.
like, is this a gulag? Or
because it was the day before this
It wasn't
shoot,
legal here, so
and they really wanted to like make sure we just like they basically wanted to like test out the rigging and stuff
That's the
to like
absolute,
dangle us.
That's the absolute worst part. Very first world problem. But the absolute worst part about going to Australia is like there's no flight that doesn't get you there at like 8 a.m. in the morning. You always get there and it's like it's the brand new day as soon as you land, and it's like
That's good though, because then you get the day to like.
it's nice, but also at the same time,
if you sleep on the
let
plane,
me take like a
it's
3-hour nap and then kind of start my day. It's like you get there, it's like oh no, you can't check into your hotel yet. It's like okay.
That's the fucking worst.
Yeah.
You get somewhere and then you just need to like kill time.
Yeah.
You're like sitting in the lounge. That fucking sucks.
when Jeff Alfredo and I went to Paris, it was literally we were so fucking tired from like all the travel, and it's just Fredo and I filming Jeff passed out in the lobby of the hotel. Like,
Nice.
Man, I miss those travel events. Those are a lot
Yeah.
of fun.
Hopefully we'll do that again soon.
When Trevor and I went to Paris for that stupid Seven Wonderings.
Oh, yeah,
we
you had to go pee in public?
Went to go take a piss in public.
Is it legal there?
Yeah, there's like outdoor urinals.
Okay.
And so it was like, go use one. And so Trevor and I flew to Paris, and on like one of our connections, I don't even remember because it was like a bunch of connections. We had like a 4-hour layover or something like that, and there was a hotel in the airport, and I was like, "Fuck this! I'm renting a room." And I'm like, "Come get me in 3 hours," because I was like, "You want to share the room?" And Trevor's like, I think I was like walking around. I was like, "All right, bye." And I just fucking went in and went to sleep because I was just like, "This sucks."
Have you ever been in one of those capsule hotels like in
No.
Japan, like where it's like just a tube, like Fifth Element
I'd
style?
like to.
We rented one out for an upcoming Tokyo trip. Well, I say upcoming. It never happened because literally the pandemic dropped right when we were supposed to be going in March of 2020. And we had like all the pods and everything. Like we had this whole fucking floor of just like pods and a common area, and then it just fell through. It was a bummer.
I don't know like, why. I'm so interested in that. Like just those little things you slip into. I remember.
I would bet I would love it.
Oh yeah, I think I would love it too. Like I don't get that claustrophobic. So the idea of like
To me,
Go
that's
in?
comfy.
Yeah,
Right? It's
yeah.
like the closest I think is when we did the we had the tour bus.
Oh,
We
yeah.
had those little bed pods.
coffins?
I fucking love that. I love that, dude.
Yeah, there were
I
12
passed
of us
out,
stacked.
and it was even better that like we were on a moving bus because it like rocked me to sleep like a baby. It was like,
Yeah.
But were you facing? Which way did you face your head?
feet
forward.
towards the
That was
front.
like 2 rolls of the bus.
Because otherwise,
you're not allowed
like
to
sitting
yeah,
down.
You're not allowed to take a shit.
Yeah,
even
no,
though
no
there's a-
shit, no number
Don't
twos
you
in the
dare
toilet.
shit on the bus.
What-
That's what the bus
Was it a
driver
broken
said.
one, or-
No, it was just like when
just
you're
sit
on the
there.
bus, you
It
live
wafts.
here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so don't
air
shit on the
circulates.
bus,
Yeah.
basically.
Basically, it's like a urinal, or like a porta potty, where it's like, all right, you can shit in there, but it's like then it's just gonna live
But
there.
then the whole bus
Someone
is
cleans it
the whole
out.
bus is gonna stink like shit.
Because you have a gray water collector.
Look,
An RV.
I'm just telling you what the rules were. We didn't make them up. That Jack's right. There were
Yeah.
2 rules: don't shit on the bus.
All right.
And sleep feet first, because otherwise, if there's like a stop, you'll snap your fucking neck.
Ah, cool.
That's basically it.
Yeah. And each of those little pods too had like a little DVD player, which didn't work. But
Oh,
it was
none of
like,
that shit
You
worked.
lay on your back, and it's like right here.
It's
It's like
yeah.
right in your
Yeah.
face.
Yeah, and you could turn the fan on. It was like,
Yeah. It's like a little computer fan would kick on.
When the freeze happened, I decided to like bring my dog and I into one of the closets in my house, just to like have a smaller area that could like collect our body heat. So that was like my pod experience.
Nice.
It wasn't bad. It was good sleep. Dark as shit.
In the closet, yeah.
what I
A
like.
well-lit area.
What I liked about the little cots where they were like little coffins, but it was just a curtain, so you knew you weren't
Yeah.
trapped,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
You
yeah.
could just get out. You would just roll out.
Yeah.
But you close it, and it's like I'm in a little pod. Like
Yeah,
I bet
yeah.
I would love a pod.
Yeah, it was pretty neat.
Now-
I'm trying to think. I forget. I want to say it was just tall enough where I could roll onto my side, and so I've got a pretty wide build, and so like it wasn't like super tight, but man, it was perfect.
When we
I'm doing that.
shot Arizona Circle, there was a scene where it's like me and James are 2 boxers, and something happens where I die, so they put me in an actual coffin, and I didn't ask if there was a body that had ever been in it. I don't know if that's a thing or
No
not.
need
They
to
don't
ask.
usually reuse them, so
Okay.
it's probably okay.
But
Got a used coffin.
he made a mistake, and he was like air punching, and he punched the coffin door closed. And I realized in that moment how tight that space was because
Yeah,
I
they
just
don't
like,
need
Well,
space.
yeah, I'm glad I didn't.
They're not getting up.
It just went boom, and I was like, oh fuck.
Lane, you've seen
What were
Kill
you gonna
Bill.
say?
Come on, just
Oh yeah.
Yeah. What were you gonna say?
Yeah.
Here's a metal coffin.
oh, damn it. Now with Capsule, that same mentality. I know some people like pod spaces, and I'm okay with them. I'm not super claustrophobic, but I like bigger ceilings because I'm from Texas and we love our vaulted ceilings.
Oh yeah.
So I watch tiny homes and people like build tiny homes. I'm like, this seems fascinating and wonderful, but I feel like in practice I would just hate it.
Yeah,
I
oh,
would
yeah,
knock
sure.
everything
Just fill
over.
it with shit immediately.
that too.
Yeah, they also don't
yeah.
own anything.
Yeah.
Also
yeah.
true.
That's
Or like if I would visit
minimalist. Like everything folds up.
Yeah, like the bed goes up.
Yeah.
But every time I visit Michael, just like kind of difference of living spaces.
Well, we
is-
live together. I don't
Well,
know
yeah.
why I live in
She
space.
goes,
No, I'll
she goes
tell
over
you.
to visit your room.
When we go visit your family.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, of course. I'll like be gesturing and talking, and I'll keep hitting my hands on the ceiling because they're so low. I'm like,
ow,
fuck.
They're not really so low.
Yeah.
It's just a normal ceiling.
Well, Michael comes from a family of hobbits.
Right.
Yeah.
It doesn't need to be
It's Harry
14
Feet,
feet
Harry Feet.
tall.
You know?
The ceiling's like 8 feet tall.
You can't do that in your house. You can't go like this.
Absolutely.
It admittedly is weird going
I was
back home.
exaggerating.
Lindsay's just standing on the couch.
ceiling's
just-
very
yeah.
low.
You're exaggerating.
When I was looking for a home in Austin, I remember there was like this tiny home village or some shit, and I went there and I was like, this is just a trailer park. Like they like rebranded it. There's nothing wrong with trailer parks, but I was like, they're not fooling anybody.
Yeah. Like, this is nice. This is really nice.
This episode of Off Topic is brought to you by Burrow. Moving from apartment to apartment is more like moving from couch to couch. Sometimes it's just too dang hard to take that big piece of furniture with you, so every time you move, you have to say goodbye to your couch and buy a new one. What? No, not with Burrow. They're setting a new standard for furniture with easy to assemble and easy to move modular designs. It's modular, people. Everything is modular, okay? Building a Burrow couch isn't rocket science. It's more like playing with one of those baby toys where you have to fit the different shaped blocks into the right holes. Super easy. Well, you know, sometimes challenging, but mostly super easy. You don't need tools, just your hands and a couple of minutes, and when it's time to move, you can take it apart just as easily. Okay? Furniture that works for you. Burrow also eliminates trips to furniture stores. Just browse their user-friendly website to start customizing your furniture. Every order comes with free shipping, and their world-class service team is always available to help you out. Get yourself a Burrow. Not only can you customize everything from fabric color to the shape of the arm, but they're also super versatile and comfy, which is really, the primary thing you want. For furniture, you are going to sit on it. Might as well be comfy. Thankfully, Burrow is. Thanks again to Burrow for supporting this show. Listeners can get $75 off their first order at burrow.com/off-topic-pod. Pod is for podcast. That's Burrow, BURROW.com/off-topic-pod for $75 off.
Do you have high ceilings or low ceilings in South Carolina?
It's pretty low.
Pretty low?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you have a lot of
Because it's air. What? I don't understand it.
I need
you
to
get
feel
more
free.
It feel big if you're flying around your house. I guess I don't. It feel big. Oh, I use all that space up there where I'm not at. I don't get it. It just makes it hard to change a fucking light bulb.
Here's the thing. I'm wondering.
That is true.
Like what?
That's true.
It's just nothing's gained from it.
I'm wondering if it's the mentality.
I definitely like am a lot more conscious about that right now. Where I'm like, turn those lights off. I don't want to ever have to get up there and change them.
Right. It's nothing to do with electricity.
Yeah, no, it has nothing to do with that. Just I don't want to get up there because it'll be months.
Like when
It'll
you
be
try
in
to
the dark.
cool that space or heat it, like in Texas, you're fucking yourself.
Yeah,
because of
that's it
power
too.
efficiency.
Yes.
It's just so much
but, like,
space.
the
It's
heat,
just empty
the heat
space.
rises. All the cold air stays down with you.
Right. That's why it's hot as fuck on the second floor.
Yeah, it's true.
Yes.
Yeah, it is always hot.
It's a good thing I have an extra 10 feet of first floor. Like, get up here.
Well, y'all got me thinking now. I'm wondering if this was part of the design mentality. Is every time I visit Michael or somewhere where there's a lot of trees, I feel very
Trees?
claustrophobic. I don't like them. I don't like
I've
them.
missed.
Yeah.
trees?
Like I'll go into that backyard he just described, and I'm like,
It's great because it's like no one's watching, and also it's the perfect.
Everyone's watching.
It's the perfect
Force
kind
is
of like
watching.
representation of like, fuck everyone else because you can't see them. It's just like that. It ends.
Yeah.
You don't think about Texas. It's just like
They're over there.
us. You just see as far as your eyes
Yeah.
fail you. You know
and
what I mean?
hopefully
Like,
they're way over
there's
there.
still
but you can
stuff that
see
way.
them. Hey, y'all.
Those are the backyards that you can take a piss in the back.
Oh,
you know?
in my whole life growing up, it'd be like, go outside for like in the summer, don't come back, use the bathroom outside. It's trees, fences, no one gives a shit, no one can see you.
My cousin, when we were kids, for whatever reason, like took it to the next level and took a shit in the backyard, even though we were like legitimately 10 feet away from the bathroom. Right?
It's about the experience.
Just for the fact.
Yeah.
We're in the wilderness.
Go for it.
I remember like my first house I owned in South Austin. If you stood on my back porch, the way the sort of sloped down, like my backyard, my neighbor's backyard both sloped down. So it was like stand on my back porch and just look right into my neighbor's back porch. And it's like, oh, this sucks.
Yeah, that happened a lot.
Oh man.
No privacy.
Yeah. Now, I traveled to Salt Lake for a convention with Michael, and this has happened a couple times in Salt Lake or Colorado or Canada, is if I would get this thing where I'd be out and about just like chilling, checking out the city, and I would see what I thought was a car approaching from my peripheral, and I'd go, huh, and it was just a mountain. And I'm like, oh, those don't exist in Texas. Like, that's not like a thing.
So wait.
I'd go, danger.
Let me
no,
go ahead.
okay,
Let me
we're good.
just
We're good.
qualify
And then
this.
the one time you don't,
So
it's a
you were just
from the
just moving around, jogging, doing whatever, and you thought, and somehow a mountain snuck up on you?
It'd be more
happens,
like,
Jack.
hey, I'm looking at Michael, and then we're walking, and all of a sudden I'm like, there's something over here, and I go, huh, oh, it's a mountainscape in the distance that just came into my peripheral for a second, but I thought it was something else.
The first time I visited LA,
the mountain's just moving.
It's not, I'm moving.
I slept at
When
Bruce's
mountains
house, and the same
Watch
thing
yourself.
happened where I like felt like a child because he was like driving me around, and I was like, are those clouds? And he was like, those are mountains, Blaine. And I felt like the biggest dumb fuck.
Yep. So nice. I have to train myself to remember that the mountain will not attack me. It's okay. Unless I'm in snowboarding school with those other bunny kids. Yeah.
The mountain is more afraid of you than you are of the mountain.
If I
Okay.
scream at the mountain and act real big, will it run away?
No,
that's shit. All right, fuck you.
I'm sorry, Michael. Did you have something to say?
No.
You good? Okay.
I was just listening.
That's fine.
scared of mountains. That is
This guy? No way.
They
No, I
don't sneak
didn't.
up on me.
Yeah.
No.
I see him coming from a mile away.
Lindsay, I
Or
can.
the relative distance between me and that mountain. I'm like, oh, there's the mountain.
No, it was the mountain from Game of Thrones, actually. He was coming to punch me.
That
shit.
was
Oh my
like a
God.
car, correct?
That's a wee bit different.
Felt like a car.
Yeah. I can see why you wouldn't like a huge wooded area behind the house. And it's only if you think about like anything could be there.
Yeah.
That doesn't really
Yes.
happen usually.
No, it really
People don't
normally
really
doesn't.
run around and live in the woods.
Yeah.
It's not the predator. You know?
What about
Yeah.
animals?
Right.
Like, are animals a thing up there? Like,
Yeah.
Well, I'm
You got them everywhere.
you have to worry about like, oh, there's something going to come out of the woods. Like, do you have to worry about like predators or
No,
anything?
because everything's like the only animals you get is like honestly like where I grew up, the biggest thing was just squirrels, which is like,
Squirrels
because
are
there's
awesome.
trees everywhere.
Yeah.
And they run along the fences and jump into the trees. And the only like shitty animals were raccoons fucking with your trash, and skunks.
Yeah.
That's about it. I mean, nothing else is like gonna venture out,
Yeah.
right? Like everything else is afraid of sound and people.
Okay.
If anything,
So
when
we
Michael
never
moved
really-
here, he
we
kept
never
talking
really
about
had
Texas
anything.
killing you, and like how we have snakes and all sorts of like spiders.
Right, we didn't have any of that
etc.
shit.
Yeah.
I mean, you're not like snakes.
Yeah,
right? It'd be
yeah.
crazy
Oh, we
to
have
see like a
snakes.
garden snake. Like, whoa.
Yeah.
So like one
rattlers and
snake.
shit.
Yeah, like rattlesnakes and
Yeah.
shit.
We got coyotes, mountain lions.
We had more like dogs running around.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I
Like,
remember,
we didn't have any like coyote. What the
You had
fuck?
deer though, and that's like a driving.
Deer will kill you.
Right. Yeah, deer
in a
hate.
car.
That's
Absolutely.
just it.
Yeah, deer can't drive for
Deer want to die.
I don't
no, I need
understand.
to make a right
That's the most
blinker.
dangerous thing about when you're in super like wooded areas.
yeah.
They'll jump the fuck in the middle of the road, and they can,
yeah.
they'll total your car.
But they always
They're
say,
like
like-
hundreds of pounds.
They say blow through them, but like that's like you have like a 3-second, not
Yeah.
Decision.
And it's like there's no instinct in my body that doesn't say
and if
slam
you
on
get,
They're-
if you
they're
get ones with
definitely-
like antlers, like,
Oh, yeah.
they'll like shred your car. and
door
shit.
you.
There was
Yeah.
definitely like my family, we would go to like the beach for Christmas, and my mom would always be like, "Oh, you have to leave by this time, so it's not dark."
I mean, yeah,
so you
they'll
don't
jump
hit
out at
the
any
deer."
time, but you
And I
can't
was
see
like,
shit.
exactly. I said that. I was like, they're gonna jump out at any time.
They'll fire out. in the
I'm gonna tell you,
woods.
I'm gonna go 10 miles over the speed limit on that road, whether I see a deer or not. Like that's just how you do on that road.
At least like with a deer, if you run it over, it fucked up. You killed it. When you go to Australia, if you hit a
there's that.
kangaroo, which is
yeah.
their version of like pest deer,
Yeah.
they survive. They're all muscle, and then they get up, and then they're just
Yeah.
like.
I mean, if you hit a deer and it doesn't die,
Punch you in the face. Yeah.
Walk up,
they're
what the
not
fuck?
getting up.
What the fuck?
What, the deer?
The deer. If
Yeah.
you hit it and it doesn't die, it's like, ugh, and they're just like in the road.
So you just got to kill it with your tire iron.
You're totally right, though, Matt. Like I've watched in parts of Texas that are further out in the country. I'll drive out there just like hang out with family, etc. I've watched times where people in front of me are driving. And there's a deer on the side of the road watching, and then like the second the car's close, the deer goes, "Well, I'm done."
Brother,
General So
as
Duck
hell.
is in chat. Says deer are fucking idiots.
They're dumb as hell.
dumb as
Yeah,
hell.
they're dumb as
Yes.
shit. They like want to die. They're like lemmings.
Deer
bro.
are
It's
like
stop
rats of the
jumping in front of my fucking car. They're just huge.
I went camping with like Miles Luna and Cole Gallion a while ago, and we went to
Party.
Colorado, and that's where we were like a lot of mountain driving. So there's fuck tons of deer.
That's horrifying too, by the way. But we'll get there. Mountain driving? Oh no, thank you.
No, it's
Yeah.
But we also got hit by a snowstorm, so that shit was crazy. And then you're dealing with like elevation brain, so you're just like high. But deer kept on. It was like mating season, so they were just like horny deer all over our tent, just going.
And they're-
And you're just like, shut the fuck up! Try to sleep.
That's awesome. You should have responded. Why didn't?
Yeah.
Well, at one point, I remember, and Miles didn't remember this, but like one came on the campground properties, like searching for food, and like you could see its horns in the tent, and like you could hear its footsteps, and Miles just goes, no, 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 just starts making noises, and it just goes, it just runs away.
That's me to my cats when they get into stuff they shouldn't.
Yeah, deer shit.
Before I forget about it, you were talking about like snakes being pretty rare up there. I remember back in South Carolina, I have an indoor-outdoor cat. He used to find the snake holes in the front yard, and he'd just be,
What's in here? That's awesome.
got it, and then he'd like rip it out and start just freaking it around. I'm like, what are you doing? You're
incredible.
gonna die that way.
Sick ass cat.
He's throwing it like a ball, and
He would like he would throw it, and then he'd like
like
bite the
yarn.
neck, and then just go around in circles until it flew up in the air.
Our cat does that
awesome.
with like a fly.
This is true.
That'd be cool.
Caught a fly the other day.
Growing up, I had indoor, outdoor cats.
Yeah.
I had one time where I came home and my cat had something in its mouth, and I was like, "Oh, is it bringing home like a mouse or something?" To be like, "I provide for the family," and I go, "Thank you, cat, but we're human. Thanks." It turned
9
around.
to 5 every day,
I'm sorry.
and you don't take this shit.
And I'm not interested.
No.
But I was like, "Oh, what do you have in your mouth? Like, come here, come here." And it turned, and it had a big lizard, but the lizard had like bitten its tongue. So the cat was like, like help me out, please. As this lizard's hanging on its tongue, going, like I don't want to die.
I want this, please.
Now, have you guys gone camping anytime recently? I know Blaine it has, but like, have you guys
ago.
actually? Have you ever gone camping?
Yeah.
What do you think the answer is for me?
Pennsylvania.
I want
the
you to
beach?
experience life.
It's too late, Jack.
I was-
Jack, it's
I
too
was-
late for
I
him.
was
You've
going
only got
to.
about
I was
5 years left.
Yeah,
so I
so-
want you to get out
Don't
there.
It's gonna be a hell of a fight.
Man, don't waste it camping.
Yeah,
Camping
that's a good
season's
point.
like
Don't
hot.
waste it.
Like it finally
Yeah,
got cold.
it's
not-
getting a little cool.
I was gonna say I actually have been. It's like a cabin.
Yeah,
Okay.
again,
But
I mean,
that's
like
about
in New
it.
Jersey, you can go camping and there's woods.
yeah.
Or Pennsylvania's an hour away.
Yeah. You can go to Garner State Park. It's about 5 hours away from Austin. It's really, really nice.
Inks Lake.
Well,
there's
that
a
sounds
bunch of great
great. I'll
parks around
Google
here.
it.
I feel like you're missing
the
so
idea.
much of
Google
life.
Earth, yeah, but you're not opening Pokemon cards, so it balances out.
The thing about,
That's true. I'm not
You're
opening
missing
Pokemon
that.
cards.
the thing about camping though is like it's the hub world in Red Dead Redemption 2 where like you are literally just going around doing chores, but it's all
Oh,
day.
man.
You're building your tent. You're prepping dinner. It's just chores all day.
Can I
There's something
can I
peaceful
stop playing and then play a different game as quickly? Or-
Yeah, but like that night though, you won't be prepared when the darkness hits,
Yeah.
and then you're just kind of.
Matt, I'll
fucked.
take you camping in Sims, and it'll basically be the same.
Matt wants to go glamping.
It's fine.
Yeah.
I would actually love to go glamping.
I'll go camping in a hotel somewhere.
I would
Right, with
I would
my
love
TV
to
and
like
air conditioner.
I would love to look outside the tent and be like, nature.
I mean, that was like
Now back to Halo.
old school glamping
Yeah.
is like you have an RV.
Yeah.
That's
yeah,
like
vehicle.
that's still camping, but you have like a home base. You have like a bed, or at least like a cooktop or something. You have
Some
refuge.
kind of
you
power
can take.
maybe, yeah.
Yeah, it'd be like a generator or something attached
yeah.
to it.
Now, Matt, I don't think you should go camping per se, but here's what
either.
I want.
Smart. I
And
want
think
to
we
know.
I
can-
think you should.
Yeah.
We can do this together.
He wouldn't
It's
come
going to be
back,
great.
dude.
Audience, don't tell anybody, but you can help with the conspiracy theories here. What? We have Matt walk through the woods a la Bigfoot style. We don't tell the general public he's doing this. He just kind of walks around a little bit like this a few times, and we see what kind of
Out of
what kind-
focus.
yeah, what kind of commotion you get. If you want to wear a fursuit, that's your choice. Feel free. I think it will add
Don't.
to it.
But I mean,
Yeah, I want the Bigfoot of Austin, but we know it's Matt. It's just Matt going around like scaring campers. It'd be awesome. I'd be all about that. You kidding me?
they would immediately be like, that's just a guy.
No.
Bigfoot took our
Oh, ooh.
We got the green belt right there. Just walk around there.
If I gave you $1,000, could you go a week without electricity, including any like portable?
Well, Jack, a week is a pretty low bar considering I've done that already.
Yeah, well, we had to.
That's true.
And you didn't get any?
The Deus Ex Machina.
Hey, don't worry, that'll happen again soon.
scenario.
So we'll be fine.
They haven't made anything.
Thank you,
perfect.
Texas government, for doing fuck all to fix that.
Well, that's fine because it's once in a lifetime.
That's true.
Yeah.
There's also trans kids to
Never
worry about.
happened.
Yeah, they've got
So,
much more to worry about.
important
Yeah, like
things.
women getting abortions, et cetera. You know,
Yeah.
whatever.
But this like
Fuck
Texas-
Greg Abbott.
Yeah.
He's a piece of shit. Fuck Greg Abbott. I didn't say his name.
Texas is kind of fucking sucking right
dude,
now.
Yeah,
I'm in this weird conundrum.
Now it's worse.
It real sucks.
I love Austin. I really love Austin. I've lived here 99% of my life, but I'm really fucking tired of Texas.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
such a shitty place right now, and it's just like this minority of people are ruining everything, and it sucks.
Well, they're a majority because we're the minority.
They're a majority of people who control what's happening, but it's a minority of people. If everyone voted, 100% of people voted, it would go the other way.
We were jokingly talking about like it was right when the abortion thing hit, and like Barbara said like we should just move Rooster Teeth to Colorado, and we're like, ha, that's a good one, and then we're all just like, that would be fucking cool.
Or, you know,
man.
Scotland, you know, somewhere cool.
It'd be
Scotland
cool.
would be nice.
As a lot of people pointed out, not only us, we have the privilege and ability to do stuff like that, but a majority of Texans can't just up and pack up when they don't enjoy the politics that are being
Yeah.
forced upon
Yeah.
them.
Yeah.
So we're just kind of, a lot of people are stuck in this really shitty scenario, especially anyone out there who's dealing with, I was just thinking about like, my experience having children and when I was aware of the fact that I was pregnant, it was about like a month and a half in, 2 months in. So I'm like,
Yeah.
Dude, 6 weeks is
never know.
insanity.
yeah.
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 It's insane.
Yeah, you have no idea.
It's like you lucky. I doubt it was 6 weeks. I
And that's-
imagine
yeah, I'm
it was
being
it was
generous here.
later.
Yeah.
That's like you have 1 hour.
Yeah, it's like, wait, what?
That's fucking
Too late.
ridiculous.
Too late. Illegal now.
fucking awful.
Anyway, Texas politics is a fucking shit show right now.
But hey, our roller
and it's a
coasters.
nightmare. If you
We got snakes. In and out of government. Oh.
in the state of Texas, please make sure you register to vote. Elections are next year. It'd be pretty great. Current rumor is McConaughey for governor and Burrow for lieutenant governor, which would be
I heard
fucking amazing.
My parents
but
were like, McConaughey's running on the Republican bill, and I was like, what?
from what people have gathered, he's very centrist, but he leans more left than anyone else.
Oh shit!
But-
He's like a pot icon.
Well, the thing is, Abbott now is diving as a hard right to get as many Trump
They
fans as he
said
can.
Abbott's dying. I was very excited for him.
He's trying to get all the Trump supporters to jump onto his bandwagon. Him and Ron DeSantis in Florida are fighting over just the craziness to see who can run for president.
Oh, they're trying to like up each other in terms
Yeah.
of dumb shit. It's
And
crazy.
so, anyway, McConaughey, obviously, like the idea of having an actor be, governor or whatever, or running for politics is not a great idea. It does, for every Schwarzenegger you get like one Jesse Ventura or like all these other kind of nutballs. So, anyway, that being said, literally anything's better than what we're at right now.
I'm going to say it now, and I know she's from Japan, and technically she can't be president, but Hatsune Miku for president, I think it's about time. We need a Vocaloid.
Okay.
Vocaloid as president. Yeah.
Remind me.
That's the CGI character.
Yeah, it's like the
CGI character,
holographic,
yes, correct.
giant anime.
The long
3D
blue hair,
character.
pigtails. I'm
Like, it was like
sure
the
she's here.
concerts. They do like the
Cybersecurity.
Great, yeah,
holographic concerts.
thank you.
You know?
Thank you.
Because
It's been a thing for a while.
Voice of the
while.
people.
Is this like the? Oh God, I'm about to get in some hot water. What's the thing where people do the VR control? They're like
That
YouTubers.
That's
VTubers.
VTubers.
Yeah.
This isn't that because that's a person.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this is
That's
a
just
literal
like a skin over
projection.
them. This is
for
like
Hatsune
a
Miku.
computer.
Yeah,
They made a
person.
movie about this, like Simone, and it was like Simulation 1.
Yeah,
yes,
yeah.
actually, yes. Like literally, that concept is now in reality. It's happened.
I saw like someone like posted a bunch of, it was like screenshots of her comment section on Instagram. It was like one of these computer generated women, and it was like thirsty dudes were just like, hey baby, like,
Right.
not knowing it was a fake woman.
Well, my favorite part about that too is like obviously there are personalities and people behind this. It's not just like music comes out of thin air. Someone composes this
Sure.
and translates her movements and stuff, and it is a performance. It's an art piece. Cool, awesome. But I love just like the difference in generation gaps and culture gaps. Like I showed my parents a Hatsune Miku concert, and they were genuinely like scared. They're like, "What am I watching?"
Well, those are great because she's like 20 feet tall.
It's
So
just
it's like a
huge.
giant.
Yeah.
Like, I will crush you.
It's a kaiju.
That's an actual concert.
An anime kaiju.
See, like the people.
That looks like a screenshot from like a Final Fantasy game.
Yeah, and it's like a bunch of tiny people, and then this like 20-foot tall projected anime.
It's like
Concert.
the Blade Runner, and like, he's just walking along, he sees the giant naked lady.
Well, it's cool.
they-
and someone can correct me if you know more about this, but I think that's the
And
same
they goddamn
technology.
do.
Yeah, that they use in Haunted Mansion, where they have the fake ghosts
Pepper's
floating
ghost,
through.
yeah.
It's a Pepper's ghost, literally.
Okay.
It's just that technology.
Peppers were hot.
Yeah, it's probably just like a mirror. I'm guessing, like a 45-degree angle projected from the
More
bottom
than
or
likely.
something.
Yeah, front of stage, going upward. I would think.
What if
Yeah.
she's just real?
That's true.
She is. Real to me.
It's all.
I'm one of the
lie.
thirsty
kaiju?
dudes.
Yeah. I think they did the same
Friendly
thing
kaiju.
with
It's very nice.
with the Squid Sisters from Splatoon. They had like a
Yeah.
concert with just that.
Dropped my stuff. I was excited.
fuck?
Sorry. Just ignore it.
No,
It's for kids.
But yeah, no, I think they did that where it's just like everybody was like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna listen to Splatoon music and Callie and Marie are gonna play it," and I was like, "That's pretty cool."
Yeah, they've done that with a lot of different IPs, especially video game connection wise or anime wise. But I mean, like, some people I was talking to, they're like, "Oh, it's a fake band. Like, that's not real." I'm like, I don't know. Like, we love the Gorillas, and that's technically a fake band,
How's that
right?
fake
like,
band?
it's not. I mean, like, the Gorillas
They aren't
is
actually
an anime.
gorillas.
Yeah,
It's
don't
the
tell them.
characters of the
Yeah.
Don't know.
I was
No.
pissed. What?
The illusion
So
is
it's just
shattered.
I kept going, where's the monkey? Well, no, they're all like, but they're
The
like
noodle.
personas and like they are
Yeah.
people.
Yeah.
Well, by that standard, isn't Daft Punk and they're the same kind of.
Yeah. So,
Well, even then,
or
you could argue
similar.
like those are physical people appearing in concert, whereas a Gorillas concert, don't they just show like gorilla footage? Am I
music
wrong?
video?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a bunch of like
No, Gorilla's for what it's worth, at least the one Gorilla concert I saw, Gorilla's concert I saw, they had like screens, but then they had the actual performers
that's
behind
cool.
the screens.
That's cool.
So, because Gorillaz is like it's like a mega band. It's the dude from Blur, I think, and like there's a whole bunch of people from it that have all kind of joined to make this band.
That's the life. Because then you got total anonymity when you want it.
Yeah.
You're making all that money, that Gorilla's money.
All that Gorilla's money.
Making all those bananas. This episode of Off Topic is brought to you by Amazon Music. Hey, you have great taste in podcasts. Clearly, you're here listening to this, and you're in luck because you'll find over 10 million episodes of binge-worthy podcasts, including Off Topic. There's not 10 billion episodes of us yet. on Amazon Music. But Amazon Music isn't just for listening to podcasts. They also have thousands of music stations and top playlists to stream for free. Free. How much? Nothing. It's free. And no matter what you're listening to, you can go hands-free with Alexa. Yo, what up? Then you'd say, you know, Alexa, trying to minimize people's going off right now, but you know what you say, okay? If you're like me and want your music on demand and ad-free, you got to check out Amazon Music Unlimited, which gives you access to over 75 million songs plus podcasts, music videos, and more. With Amazon Music Unlimited, you can listen to any song anywhere offline with unlimited skips, okay? I like throwing some music on when I'm doing stuff around the house, doing my chores. Also, what I love it for, I use it every single night. I throw on, I say, hey, Alexa, play Thunderstorms. Great to go to sleep to. You get the rain, you get the sounds, and then I say, loop, because I think it plays for an hour if you loop it. That baby goes all night, okay? If you've never tried Amazon Music Unlimited, now's a great time. For a limited time, new customers can try Amazon Music Unlimited free for 3 months. No credit card required. Just go to amazon.com/offtopic-pod. That's amazon.com/offtopic-pod to try Amazon Music Unlimited free for 3 months. Amazon.com/offtopic-pod. Renews automatically. Cancel anytime. Terms apply. People just keep blowing me up about Amazon Music. They can't get it fast enough.
I'd also just like the idea of like Hatsune Miku, and then behind them it's like 10 people going.
Programmers. Yeah.
There's a fucking glitch.
It's just like candy everywhere.
We are Hatsune Miku.
No, basically. That's
Pivot!
I gotta go.
I thought that was a virtual reality.
Yeah, I thought Hatsune Miku was here to attack.
Is that part of the show? Does it cue something? Or
No, that's not.
Yeah, that's the
is.
Furt bell. It's where we shove Furt down their throat.
Yeah, first.
Hang on.
Thanks for supporting us,
Yeah, you got it.
jerks.
Damn, dude. Take
Yeah.
that. Whoa, thanks to first members. No, for real though. Ignore Jack and his hateful comments.
Yes, stupid supporters that love us and we love you. Ha!
Gotcha. Hey, thanks. Much appreciated. Thanks for the support that lets us do stuff. Kept us going quite a long time at home. We're back in studio now, thanks. And also to make many of our lovely first shows, like Last Laugh Season 2 airing right now, which myself, Lindsay, and Blaine are all a part of. We're all first. We're long first mates.
That's true.
We got both Last Laughs, Camp Betrayal, fucking golf.
Weird place.
No. He wasn't on.
Oh, the Blaine was in it.
Well, I'm talking about
It was the furthest one.
Oh, Blaine.
okay,
Funniest
me
person at
neither.
Rooster Teeth right here.
Yeah.
Well, who
defending the
knows?
title.
By the end of this season.
Also, second best golfer.
There you go.
Bro, I fucking choked. Like,
Okay, well,
man.
Hey,
Don't-
also
don't
right
turn this
now,
into you-
do
about you.
you listen to Rooster Teeth podcasts like Face Jam or Annual
Jack, are you
Pass?
going to tell them about the new premium RSS feed?
Michael, I was going to tell them all about the new premium RSS feed. So hey, which
Shit.
camera is it? That one.
It's the one that you're looking at,
There's no
yeah.
light, so I don't know what.
We can't do lights now.
So
Temporary
we have a
space.
premium RSS feed. So if you're a first member, you have access to a premium RSS feed. What is that, you might ask? Well, let me tell you what it is.
Oh.
It's a feed where you get access to the podcast with no ads in them. So if there's an ad, you don't
And you
hear
get
it if
it
you're a
early.
first member, and you get it 24 hours early. So those of you who would listen to something like Red Web, you get it on Sunday. If you listen to Annual Pass, you get it on Wednesday. You get the days early. 24 hours early access.
Blaine, what podcast do you recommend?
Good Morning from Hell.
There you go.
I don't know when
Never
it comes
heard of
out,
it.
but you should look it up.
But whenever it is, a day earlier.
Yeah, that's right. So you have a 2 in 7 chance of correct. Anyways, check it out. It's pretty cool, actually.
I, for one, am a fan of OT3, and I'm actually filming.
Which
an
stands for
episode.
what, Lindsay?
Tales, Truths, and Trivia. I believe is that order.
Well, that's what's
That's the 3
what's
in
the
their
O?
OT3. Well,
observers of.
observers
There
of
you
Tales,
go.
Truths, and Trivia. Yeah.
We joke because no one knows what it is.
Yeah.
I don't even know what it is. You guys are talking about things and I don't know.
This is a podcast featuring our lovely own Ashley, Sarah, and Steffi.
Oh,
Achievement Hunter. Yeah. So
sweet.
they talk about different just media discussions about usually anime oriented, but it's like fandoms. What fandoms do you enjoy? Like they did an episode with Elise about Lord of the Rings. That was fantastic. She's a huge Lord of the Rings fan. And I'm doing one about I'm doing harem animes and reverse harem animes. So that's gonna be very exciting. Watched a lot of those.
Tenchi Muya?
Yes.
Yes.
We're gonna talk about Shishimoya,
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got your pre-tiers, your Yogis,
We have to
you
make
know.
sure.
If you want access to that podcast feed, go to bit.ly/firstrss. Is it all caps? Because Bitly's weird like that. It is all caps. Make sure first RSS in all
Who
caps.
you're talking to here?
See, I paid attention to that shit. So anyway,
It's not even a spoiler.
in all
Jack
caps,
talked about
get
it.
early access to this show that you're watching right now.
Yeah, but next week.
That's true.
It's too
Yeah,
late.
it's-
If you don't
yeah.
have it, this can't be early.
That's true.
That's fair.
Yeah.
You guys,
How else would you have heard it?
did you guys
earlier.
have Face Jam spooky stuff come out today? Like podcast stuff, like the Halloween
I saw the
stuff?
Halloween merch. Yeah, that's cool.
Well,
We?
I don't know. I know annual pass. We got a new.
You were saying like something I should know.
we got a new Haunted Mansion shirt and an orange and black Halloween version.
Well, here's the thing
Really
too.
cool.
We also released a whole line of spooky stuff that
You
had
did.
nothing to do with Halloween at all.
The Ghost Kitchen
and
stuff?
it's because Ghost Kitchen, and also we've established that ghosts listen to our podcast. And so I went to the merch team and I said, we need ghost merch, and they were like, why? And I said, don't worry about
And you
it.
said, shut your mouth
Yeah,
and make
we have like 5
Pony.
Yeah, right.
Dude,
to the ghost
the
is
Face
saying.
Jam merch is extensive.
You hear them? Too?
Yeah.
We have like
Some good stuff.
15 items. It's
I gotta
crazy.
say,
Okay,
no disrespect,
Here we go.
but the 100% eat ass shirt.
Oh yeah, dude, and let me tell you, 100% eat ass, a hit. It's
I
a
want the
hit.
booty shorts.
I'm wondering
booty
if people
shorts
buy
are,
that. Like, this is
perfect.
funny, and they're like, oh, I can't wear
Does
this.
it matter?
I guess once they purchase
here's,
it, it doesn't matter for
here's
us,
how I
but-
pitched it. We found out in an episode Jordan Swears loves eating ass.
Okay.
Oh, good for him.
Yeah.
Hey,
we
always
kept
legislating.
we kept saying stop, and
Yeah.
we wouldn't stop saying it. Definitely true. And so that became a bit, and then we just started saying 100% eat ass, and then I said, this is the part where I go, okay, maybe not something someone will go, oh, I don't know what that means, but I like it. But if I know Face Jam, there's an amount of people that will really like this shirt. And
Yeah.
so as I pitched this to the merch team, going, look, I'm not saying it's going to be the best seller, but some people will buy it. There'll be animals that will wear it outside.
Yeah.
And then there'll be people that go, awesome, and then hang it up and never
Yeah.
wear it. I can guarantee you
conventions for
a
the
number
side.
of people.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, don't make 1,000 of them. But I think we can sell some. It came out, and boy, it was a hot topic, right? Like within this company, people started coming out of the woodworks. Like Barbara replied, and she's like, I don't like the bun. Like it makes me uncomfortable. Like the ass
love it,
bottom.
the ass bun,
Fucking
yeah.
Iffy was like, I will sue you. He came out firing. Alfredo was like, where's mine?
But we talked about
My shirt. I'm
where's-
getting him one.
Okay.
I don't have it yet.
I want to see if they could do this. You, like, challenge your audience to take very public pictures with that shirt on.
Oh, they would.
Out of
Dude,
library.
They
and
absolutely
church.
would.
Church.
It's the new Face Jam challenge.
A wedding.
Is that what
Well, so Good Morning
A
from
wedding's a
Hell,
good one.
not to plug our shit, but I went to, there's this church, like, secondhand store that I always go to because they got great shit. And I was getting weird looks, and I didn't really know why. And I had like I think I had a Hail Satan or a Hail, it was like a Good Morning from Hell shirt, and I was wearing it the entire time. I was like, had I known I was wearing that, I probably would have gone in there.
I've had a few times like that where I'm like, this shirt's inappropriate for the
Yeah.
situation I'm in.
I wonder.
Oh well.
We've been around. Rooster Teeth's been around for what, 18 years now. I wonder how many mugshots have been taken of people who've been arrested wearing Rooster Teeth merchandise.
That's a good question.
It's gotta be not zero.
They could take a mugshot wearing these soon.
Oh yeah.
If they become real.
Is that
How would you
real?
know?
No, I mean,
Okay.
this is Nubian Princess on Twitter, who I believe is also one of our mods, but they sent or replied to that merch photo of the 100% Eat Ass shirt with the booty short suggestion, which I'm all about.
I think that was. I think they had already made that too.
If so, well
Like
done.
that picture. I'm assuming they're not real.
Photoshop.
we don't
Yes.
know.
But I think they had made that before we released the shirt. The number of people too in this company that thought it wasn't a real shirt.
Thought it was fake.
Like Kayla was like, oh, I thought this was a joke. I'm like, well, it is, but you can buy it.
We would never know.
It is a joke, all right.
I just like I like
need
the
jokes
Jeff
here.
shirt that has it's the guy that has like snot coming out of his nose and he's got like a droopy dick, but it's not a droopy dick. You know the one I'm talking
I
about?
have no idea what you're talking about.
There's a
That
Jeff
was the
shirt.
dream you had.
No. There's a shirt
there's a
where he's holding a floaty,
Hang on.
and it's got a little bit of rope on it, but he looks like he's holding a droopy dick. Like me and Barbara were like,
I'm not
"Is that
gonna
a droopy
Google
cock?"
Jeff Droopy
I'm
Dick.
gonna-
So just go ahead and
Jack,
find
I'll
it.
do it.
I'll see if I can find it.
You get that in your
This
history.
is
That's no
just
problem.
something he like drew, right?
Anyway,
That's the
new
most
merchandise.
tame thing
Store.roosterteeth.com.
There's always
Spooky
something
stuff.
new
Spooky
coming.
stuff.
That's Blaine's fanfic.
Yeah.
Jeff's droopy
droopy
Three.
Jeff
And the dick
Droopy Dick.
drooped.
Anyway.
He'll find it. He'll draw it if he has to.
Right. Oh, sorry. Before we move away from first talk, because I should mention it.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, we already did.
I thought you were gonna say before we
were
move
talking
away from
about
eating ass,
shirts.
let's.
Do you eat
too
ass?
far.
If you do, you should check out the new Sims video coming out tomorrow. That's it.
It's a droopy dick.
It
doesn't like a
it does
droopy
look
dick.
like
What
a
is
Do you mind if I
Very
take the
droopy.
I don't know if can we. Is this something we'll have to censor in a future episode?
No.
Oh,
This
no,
is
I
a
mean,
real
Jeff
Jeff shirt.
merch.
This is available now in the Rooster Store.
Store.roosterteeth.jeff.
Does look
Droopy Jeff did.
Zoom enhance.
See, he's like it's Nosferatu holding
How
kind
does
of.
that look like a droopy dick?
Because like from afar, you like glance at it. That's a
If-
droopy dick.
Yeah.
From afar, it looks like a huge dick. What are you talking about? This looks like the dick.
Right.
This is just like cum
I like that
dripping
the
out.
dick
Right,
wasn't a
droopy.
concern.
Oh,
It's
oh,
droopy,
see,
like,
I'm saying
flaccid or-
droopy as in like things are coming out of the.
That's not at all what a
Yeah.
droopy dick
Droopy
is.
dick.
Guys, I'm
Droopy
so sorry.
dick.
I'm just saying, I'm thinking the dick is droopy.
Oh, pal, drippy.
It's a drippy dick.
This is why, yeah.
Oh my
The
god.
dick is erect, is in that context.
Yeah, you're right.
It looked like a sandwich.
Yeah.
He's holding.
And I just like Michael's like, of course it's a penis, but it's very hard and big. Like, come on.
Well, I'm saying he's clearly holding something, but I agree with being far away.
Yeah.
But droopy is the last thing I would
Monster
call
dog.
it.
He is supporting it though.
It's intimidating.
Goodness. Where was I? Yeah, so
I
she
don't
got
know.
Sims tomorrow.
Oh, right. How many droopy dicks?
So far, I'll say one, but that's just a slight at Michael because we visit him in the episode.
Harsh.
Damn.
Got him. Yeah. So Kai and I go on a vacay. Check it
Every
out. see
time
what
Lindsay
happens.
visits me.
This drippy dick.
Yeah.
Sup, drippy dick?
Drippy droop.
And then I leave. Actually, I called,
Shorts visits. Yeah, just,
I called him droopy dick once, and then Blaine, everyone was like,
I don't
no,
know.
drippy. Hang on.
it's
What don't you know,
Droopy.
Michael?
I don't know if that. I think that came out already because I know in Last Lap season 2 the episode came out with Ryan Haley reading his book about what the fuck was it?
He's like how to hide a
How to
boner.
boner. That's what it was.
How
To be
Yes.
fair, I didn't know Ryan could read, so that's pretty good.
Someone made
I
that
think
joke in
he
the
was.
episode.
I think he was
hey.
right
Does he-
then.
everyone thinks he's-
I just remember going, I'm so little. Like being the voice of his dick.
God.
Just walking over to him going, why am I so tiny? I'm a big, strong
That
dick."
guy's an enigma. I don't know if
funny.
you know the history of Ryan Haley, but holy shit, what a weird
he was
fucking
born.
dude. I like that guy.
That's how most stories
He
start.
lived in LA for like $50 a month because he had an apartment or he had a bedroom in apartments that he somehow subleased to someone, and then he lived in his own closet and was having the person pay for the apartment.
He
He likes the pod space.
he lived in a co-op down the street from me in college, and it was 21st Street Co-op, and those guys were like the fucking party animals. But he was like, he showed me a video of him and Dolph Lundgren. Like he's like been around and in weird stuff.
Yeah,
He's
yeah,
like
yeah.
Ivan Drago, like, and he was a clown apparently.
We talked about UT. I didn't realize that he was like, I know for a fact and remember going to UT with Chris and Brandon and other people from
sorry.
UT TV. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I get over it. I'll be fine. And Mariel was there too, years after me, but still like there. I remember her coming in and like doing stuff with us. Ryan was there the whole time, and I didn't realize that. Ryan was like part of their group doing all that improv. I'm like, so you were part of my history, but I don't realize where you were or when
How
you were there.
insulting to him.
Like,
It's like, hey, Lindsay, long time no
It's like
see.
a brain parasite or something.
yeah,
Where
yeah.
It's
Is Ryan
like, he's
real?
actually, he's just melded into your life. It's like, yeah, don't you remember that? I was there.
Yeah.
My wedding, Ryan? You were there?
Yeah.
At my birth?
Right there. Yeah.
Marilyn and I were in like a couple of classes together, like whole college buds.
No.
Nice.
And yeah, I mean, you did UTTV.
No, I didn't.
You didn't?
No.
Okay.
No.
Jack,
I missed
right?
out on that. Yeah, I'm Jack.
Also, TSTV. We're getting RTTV mixed
No.
up.
Ah, okay, yeah. I was like,
Were you even there?
Ryan
was.
might
Your
have been.
story's unraveling. Like,
oh shit.
my mind's a blob.
Worm over the top.
It's like the butterfly effect. You see what the
No, I graduated like right before a bunch of you guys started jumping. I graduated in 2005, so like I was
me too.
gone just as everyone else. Yeah.
Well, high school.
That's cool.
Goodness.
But,
Hector was also there too.
He was kind of a dick though. Like I love Hector, but he was
Here we
like
go.
the equipment guy. I don't know if he's here.
Damn.
And he was like
wouldn't say it either.
real hard ass about equipment. But I mean,
like
you have
that
to be.
to
I'll
this
be.
day.
Yeah.
To
You
be
absolutely
fair,
have to
yeah.
be.
Especially in college, so many grubby hands. People go, "Oh, free camera," yeah, and you're like, "No."
the shot.
That's, I'm gonna tell you, people still do that here.
Yeah.
I wonder what equipment rentals like now at UT. So for those of you who don't know, like back in the day,
I'm gonna go to the bathroom.
the cameras you would get and stuff, like you would have to rent
You
really
bring me a
nice
beer?
cameras
Thanks,
to
babe.
record shit. But now, like my cell phone is 10 times higher quality than anything I had access to while I was at UT.
yeah.
And so it's like, I didn't even know, like, what do you shoot on there? Unless you're shooting on like Reds and stuff.
We
like,
were doing like DSLRs and stuff, which like it's less about the quality of the camera, but it's like the glass,
Like
you
lenses
know,
and
and like
stuff.
kind of understanding like how to use, you know, shutter speed and ISO and all that shit. Yeah.
I'm all for getting the foundation too, and I'm smack in the middle of that. I graduated 2011 from college. So I came in 07, 08. We didn't do DSLRs, but we had tape decks for our filming, like whatever
DV tapes and shit.
Yes, and it was a point of big contention. Like I had to sit down in a meeting with my group project partners and argue with like the head of the department that this is outdated tech. Like this isn't helping us learn to enter into this industry. You're holding us back, and it was really like. It was a big thing where he's basically like, we left that meeting where he's like, okay, do what you want. If you want to use the 5D, I guess you can. I'm like, yeah, we will. Thank you. Actually, yes, thank you.
He turned around. He's like, finally.
It was
Instead
just
of
kind
rewinding, I can watch this VHS again.
Yeah, it was clearly a guy I think who's like still living like the 70s, 80s, 90s like mentality of like people, if they watch content, it's on TV, and usually they're watching news, and I'm like, that's dead. Like it's gone.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I got my internship at Rooster Teeth, and it was my like second to last semester before graduation. So then that last semester I was working here part time, and I remember I felt like hot shit because you know like it's a Rooster Teeth internship. It was like a pretty coveted internship, and one of our PAs or our assistant teachers, TAs, found out that I worked there, and apparently he didn't like Rooster Teeth. And that guy fucking grilled me, and he was like making sure I was getting bad grades on stuff. And I was like, "You fucking suck." But
Sweet.
I don't know what that happened to that guy, but
That's funny.
Look at me
Also, just thinking about TSTV at the time when I was involved with it, there was good and bad to it. There was a lot of freedom for creation, but it was very much like Wild West style, especially with early internet access. We're making videos that could be on YouTube, and they're like, the people that I was just describing are like, I don't know how that works. You kids have fun with your internet. So we would go into TSTV, and it's very reminiscent of like Achievement Hunter and kind of the way that we operate. It would be like, shit's going crazy, balls to the wall, energy. Everyone's been up all night working on their actual projects. So now we're making films, and it was very fun. But I guess I do and I don't miss some of that guerrilla mentality for filming. I don't know if you guys had the same experience at TSTV, or if it kind of became a little bit more regimented once you got there.
we did like a variety show, and that was pretty like just like turning shit in day of and just like figuring it out and filming it live. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I was a part of they had a 3D class. And I was like back when like 3D filmmaking was still like hot shit.
Yeah.
And
Comes around about every 20 years or so.
it does. And I remember learning about like we were shooting with like doctors and all sorts of stuff. And yeah, that shit sucked. That was like just like a class where you just got headaches constantly. It was just really bad 3D because it's like student-made films, but also 3D. So it was just it was rough stuff.
Yeah, I remember I took an editing class, and that's what and I had already taught myself editing on, like I had a computer at home, and I taught myself like Premiere. Yeah. And I was using like, drag and drop and non-linear editing type stuff. And then I got into this editing class. I was like, oh, cool. And it was all Avid. But it was all like just manual, like on like just keyboard and like a wheel. Like there was no click and drag or anything. And I was just like, this is a nightmare. Like this is so old shit. And they're like, well, this is what everyone uses. And I'm like, but I can edit all this stuff like 5 times faster at home in my own computer right now.
I took it home. I never used the editing bay. I was like, fuck this.
Yeah, cheat. You'll be fine. No, Avid was bullshit because they kept on saying like every time we questioned it, they were like, it's the industry standard.
Yeah.
It's just like, I don't fucking care. It sucks.
And honestly, your industry standard is like 20 years old, dude. Your industry is gone, or at least has changed very much so.
But
Yeah.
Anyway.
Do you guys still have your school projects?
I think there was a class called East Austin Documentary that I took. That it was Andy. God, what was his last name? I forget. But it was like we had to make a 5-minute short film about East Austin. And or a 5-minute short documentary about East Austin. And I was friends with some people who made like T-shirts. They did like a screen press company.
Oh, cool.
And just me and this guy, we shot a bunch of stuff, and then he cut it, and it was just not good. And so I just took all the footage and recut the entire thing like the day before, and I was like, oh, I'm actually pretty proud of this now. And I think it exists somewhere on UT's archive. I don't know where. I'm curious. So Katie's in school right now. She didn't go to college over in Australia, but she's going to UT right now, and I'm like, I wonder what, like, because she's worried about grades and stuff. I'm like, I wonder if I can pull my transcript up. I wonder if there's any way I can get a hold of my transcript, because I do not remember how I did in school.
Yeah.
I would like to know. I know I did really well in my communications classes. Like, anything that I gave a shit about, I did pretty well, but everything else I did not care about. So I think I ended up like a 3.3 or 3.4 when I graduated.
I
But like
got a
in my
3.4.
communications, it was like a 3.8, 3.9.
Nice.
10 seems
Nice.
low.
It does seem low, but hey, that's
Okay at a 5.
God.
you're paying for the degree. Doesn't matter what you get.
Was it at RTX Plane? Did you show your student project or no? Because I
Yeah.
know we had some panels about it with Chris.
Yeah, we had a couple panels where we were just showing off like our cringy film school day content, and it's just fucking bad. Like bad acting, poorly shot, poorly edited.
Are you still somewhat proud of it in like a charm way though? Like, look at how far I've come.
There was some stuff where I was like, I could show this, but it's kind of good. Like, isn't one bad, you know? But no, there's some absolute dog shit. It was mostly like group project student films where you had someone editing who was like not an editor.
Yeah.
And rough stuff.
It was my TSTV group that actually made a short parody of a Robert Rodriguez film. Like, we just wanted to parody that style of like the grain all over the screen. Everything is hyper saturated. There's tons of blood, but it's so comical that you can't be like disgusted by it. So we made a short called Mimepocalypse, which is still on YouTube, and Maggie's actually in it. And the whole point was like, what if there was a zombie apocalypse, but instead of being bitten and turned into zombies, just like they become mimes? So what if like the whole world was just like silently chasing after our protagonists as they're like, ah, you know, the
funny,
comedy there. Yeah, it was pretty good. I enjoyed it. Check it out. Get me some views. Thanks.
Get you.
I don't even monetize my content.
Time to cash in.
I've had like 3 copyright strikes. Like, I don't give a shit.
I can't do it.
I mean, 3 you'd be done.
Well,
so
Yeah.
2.5.
that's
2.5.
Do you ever get like nostalgic and like look at your old like rage quits or?
God no. I don't look at stuff from 2 weeks
I
ago.
watched his rage quits.
I've crested the mountain, and I just don't care about any of it. I just want to make good stuff, and then be like, "That's good," and move on.
Yeah.
There's too much stuff. There's too much like nostalgia, and like you look at something and go, "Oh, this is crap. This sucks."
Yeah.
And people are like, "I love it," and I go, "You're wrong. This sucks.
The weird
This
thing
is
is,
shit."
Like, the weird thing is when I see stuff, I'm like, oh, that's funny. I'm like, oh, I'm in this. What?
Yeah.
I do not remember doing
what
this.
and I'm afraid when I've talked about this, what I like, some of the only stuff I watch, I'm heavily involved in Face Jam just because it's a little bit more like than just sit down and do it. There is like planning and like, since it's smaller, we have more like involvement in it,
Yeah.
right? Like Achievement Hunter is so big, we all have like a say, but it's very collaborative. Face Jam, there's just 4 of us, and Nick's not allowed to talk. So it's a lot more of like us voicing what the show is, both like to the company, like to merch or what we want to do with it and stuff like that. Whereas Achievement Hunter, it's very collaborative, and you can kind of, you know, rely on other people to chip in on that. So I end up listening to that a lot in that context. But other than that, it's like first shows, just because they're generally bigger and different than what we do all the time, right? So it's like Campy Trail was great because you didn't see most of the show, right? It's like, what the hell was going on when I was doing this?
Right.
That stuff's interesting to me. I also love talking heads. I would watch an hour of just talking heads. I always want to know like what people are saying because it's like, I mean, if mine's anything to go off of, they're like an hour, right? They book you for like an hour to do talking heads for like a series, and about 60 seconds is used. So it's like, I just think of all that footage just sitting somewhere. Like, I would love to see all of Blaine's talking heads for Campy Trail. Just like, I wonder what he said about this moment. I'm
What's
sure
up
he
on
was
the cutting room
upset.
floor?
Yeah, it's just because it's like, you know, you only have so much time for the show, and there's so many contestants. It's like,
After we
it being
filmed-
funny is irrelevant. There's just no time for it. But I love that shit.
After we filmed the Talking Heads, I remember Chris came up to me and he was like, hey, "What happened between you and Michael? Like, you guys got beef? Like, what went down between you guys?" And I was like, "No, like we're playing it up, Chris."
Nothing. It's just, I just remember in my like last episode of the Talking Head, after just shitting on Blaine, every Talking Head, on the last one I go, "Can't believe Blaine betrayed me." It's like, I don't know how much of it made it in the show. I think some of it did, but I was like, I had that guy's back the whole show. The whole show, I was like fucking looking out for him.
Yeah.
We had an alliance, and then he just threw me to the dogs. It was just totally straight. It's just for no reason.
But episode 1, you're like, Blaine got Barbara voted out. Everyone latched onto that bit.
They latched onto that and eat dirt.
Yeah.
Those were two things people really latched onto. Feed Eric dirt.
Yeah. That was a fun show.
That was really fun, and we've talked about it a million times on this show. But it was also like the first big thing, like getting to leave our houses, right? Like not post quarantine, but you know that like because it was Dental Roosters, but that was very like one actor at a time and sectioned off, and so doing Camp Betrayal was like holy shit, we get to like hang out with people.
Yeah.
Like that was just fun to be there.
You could sense it on set too. I like that when you get like the vibe on set is right, and you're like, oh, we're excited to film again. Like
that was really cool. That was a cool cast. Good
now,
times.
Real quick, talking about watching old content. Matthew, I have to ask, do you ever watch old guides that you did for Achievement Hunter, anything like that?
Like the community channel stuff? God, no. That's erased from my memory.
Okay, good.
Like-
Well, let me bring it back.
Yeah.
Let me re-traumatize you real quick.
I just can't stand like listening to my voice from back then.
Oh, yeah.
Or just like whatever I was saying, I was just like, you fucking moron.
Yeah, no, exactly. It's like, especially old guides, I'll be like, you flipped right there.
To be fair,
And I remember that was 2 different takes. You didn't do that right. You fucked that up.
to be fair, Blaine, you wake up every morning, look at a mirror, and say, "You fucking moron." And you start your day.
It's true.
Yeah,
It's very true.
so we've beaten that into you over all of your time.
I think Blaine had that long before he got here.
Oh yeah.
So,
On the flip side,
take credit
have
for
y'all had moments? I've had this, and I love it. They're very rare, but when they happen, they're great. Is when I'm watching content and you make yourself laugh at a joke.
yeah.
You're like, good work, me. That was funny.
Dude, we made so much, like so many minutes of like $1 Million butt, and I go back and I watch that and I'm just like, this is fucking gold. This is like good stuff. I'm very proud of that shit. But yeah, it's been a bit since we made.
I'm really proud of Last Lap too. We can't talk about a lot of it. It's not a spoiler because we've mentioned it in the podcast before, but in this episode that is now out,
Oh yeah, new episode today. by the way.
Jacqueline makes
episode
an
3.
appearance.
Oh my! Is this my episode?
Was it episode 2 or 3?
3. Today's
Three.
3.
Okay. Yeah.
I just watched the early screener.
Yeah.
The rapport that Jack and I had in the few moments that he was in the room with me is some of the best moments I've had with Jack.
Oh, yeah?
I think. Yeah. And you hopefully you remember what happened unless you've also erased it from your memory.
Is it? Is it coming today? Is it that episode? Have you watched it?
I don't think episode.
It might be 4.
I think it's later.
Yeah, I think that's
think
episode
it's
4.
4.
Episode
Oh, damn,
3.
really? Yeah.
I don't think he's there yet. I don't think he's
okay,
here
got
yet.
you. I saw some in
Yeah.
the comments and I was like, oh sweet.
Yeah.
but
It's
you
not,
have
it's
mentioned
not
you're
a
here.
spoiler. I'm in the trailer,
Yes.
so
No, it's not a
for sure
spoiler,
come
but no,
back,
I think what you're referring to is the next episode.
Sorry.
Okay.
My mistake. Thanks, Tyler.
How dare you? You were there. You don't remember?
I blocked it out like the community.
Yeah, I mean,
videos.
Yeah, once
Makes sense.
there's some stuff I was excited to do for Last Season 2, and then I couldn't, unfortunately. But we'll talk about it once.
Just froze up.
Yeah.
He choked.
I fell apart.
Jack, I'll spoil it. Jack came in and went, line.
Script. Hello.
Goodness. Jack. Oh, sorry. Please explain.
Oh no, I was just gonna say there's a lot of like crazy shit that went down that day, and it was very surprising for the people in the room because we went in pretty blind. But
I like bits like that too, and just like working other people's comedy. I got to hang out with Ryan for a bit. I didn't know him prior to that. And it was cool.
Well, you went to school with him, actually.
Well, yeah. That's how I found out. That's how I found out he infiltrated me. It was crazy. I was like,
Never heard of
what?
that before.
Didn't know it all.
So what you
Went to
did
school
Los
with them.
Angeles, I think.
Oh, good.
Grew up with the man.
I just like
Didn't know him,
seeing
though.
the way that we bond with other content creators is pretty cool. And I don't know, like I worked with Blaine in different settings of improv or like scripted material or we're characters. And I'm like, I don't think I've ever done anything with Jack where you've been a character. Because even when you were junior, you were talking to Barbara as Yang. I'm like, I don't think I've ever interacted with you as someone else.
I guess so.
Unless you're role playing in a game.
In hardcore tabletop season, no, I guess Michael was the cop in season 2.
Oh,
Yeah, I was
cop.
the-
Yeah. Because I love
sheriff.
dressing up and playing characters. That's so much fun. That's so dumb for me. And yeah, I still think to this day my favorite character I played at all of Rooster Teeth, any content, was the ref from hardcore tabletop
was
season 2.
Oh, was you with your mouth hanging
Just
open?
my mouth open the whole time and all the whistles and all that shit and just the weird backstory I gave him, like he was divorced and missed his wife, and it was just like really
well,
weird.
the thing
and
too is like
twisted.
again because like we weren't
Talk about talking head
in the
shit.
show. Well, that's it.
Oh
Same
my
thing.
God,
we
there's
weren't
so
in
much
the
talking
show,
head
right?
shit.
We
Yeah.
weren't playing the game. 99% of my participation was talking heads,
Yeah.
and I was doing it in some like character role play accent, and I would just go on these fucking tangents where I know they released like 1 or 2 of them just as like a social post because
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
like we can't put any of this in that because like there's no clip. It's just you talking for 90 seconds
Yeah.
about nothing. Like I went on some tangent. It was like when Chilled betrayed Alfredo or something. I talked about how it was like somebody getting put on the railroad tracks and like they took all your cattle and shit. I would just keep going and
love that
going
shit.
and
That's
going.
Awesome.
There's a special place in my heart for Brandine, though. I
Oh,
will say.
Brandine.
Brandine's pretty cool.
A lot of people are like,
my foot.
That was 7 Days That I thing we did. A lot of people are like, oh, you should have done an episode 2, and it's like, no, like you can't top that. Like it ended so
Yeah.
perfectly.
I agree.
And
it
so-
would have ruined it. I
Yeah.
just like played it out. Now,
You would have.
I'm hoping that the next thing like that is coming soon. Like I always find out like a month before production that we're doing like
A whole month?
Yeah.
Wow.
I don't
Timeline, huh?
What's this on my schedule next week?
yeah.
Yeah, I have an
next
entire
week.
week hold. What the
Yeah.
fuck is this?
I know,
Sarah just opens the door.
It's all
and it's
night
ready in
shoots,
5.
by the way.
I mean, I've heard like rumors of stuff that we're working on right now that all sound pretty cool.
Yeah.
I would kill for a hardcore mini golf season 2. I would love to do
Yeah.
season 2 of mini golf.
Kill.
Because season
We'll
1 was
take care of
great,
this
but we also
There we
season
go.
1 was great, but we also shot it at Peter Pan Mini Golf here in Austin. If we did a season 2, we'd shoot it in stage 4 probably or stage 3 probably.
You think we'd fab our own course?
Oh yeah. Marcus is like chomping at the bit to build his own course, and we could have fun with that.
Yeah.
And then it'd be indoors. It'd be our own set. We could do whatever we want. We could
Matt, I'll ask you now because you were also in hardcore
fire
mini
extinguishers.
golf.
Yeah.
What is your favorite character that you played, and was it your character in hardcore mini golf? Because I
the
did
wrestler.
enjoy that.
I
Yeah,
did
that was
really
funny.
like that character.
Just because every 2 seconds something would happen.
When I found
and I'd
out you
go,
were
"Matt,
also a wrestler, I was like, motherfucker.
goodness." No, he's a luchador.
Yeah, I was
very,
a luchador.
true.
Yeah.
very different.
I wanted at one point for someone to take the mask off and for me to just be like, oh my God, how did I get here? What happened? Did I have the mask on again? Oh God.
But there was so much stuff in that show, like the whole Jeremy and Larry thing, where like Jeremy started crying. That was completely unscripted. Like
That was
like I didn't even know what was happening until like they came up to me after they finished their 18. Like, oh yeah, this is the thing that we did. And it's like, we got to keep this up. So.
Or same with Matt. Like there'd be the focus of what was happening, and then banter in the background, and Matt would just keep going, "I've seen this before."
You and I in like the finals too, we were just like riffing with dumb stuff.
Yes, and we both had drunk a little bit, so we had some beers. And we're like,
That like peak collaborative content that I like that we
Yeah.
make. It was kind of like a last laugh.
That was the last thing we shot before quarantine.
Oh, I
That was the last
remember.
thing.
Yeah.
Because I remember we were supposed to fly some people in, and then they were like, you're sick.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
And I was when Chad grew his hair out, so because he was the Scottish golfer, so he grew his hair out for that, and then quarantine hit, and he hasn't cut his hair since.
Oh, no, yeah.
So it's already too long, and now it's been
yeah.
like a year and a
You
half.
still got your long hair.
I got
Got
it.
his nice little bun.
I still got mine. I think I'm saving it for extra life. I think we'll probably.
Yeah.
Matthew, please.
I remember that for the final episode, Erica was like, yeah, you're dressing regularly. You want to take the mask off? I was like, you want me to wear regular clothes and take the mask off? No, it's way better with the mask
Yeah,
on.
The
Yeah.
mask. I am the mask. Matt said as he
Just
grabbed her shirt.
Just in the
I also-
background, like
No one
wearing,
cared until I put
wearing
the
like
mask
the
on.
polo, like, yes, you know.
I was wearing that long
This is
sleeve
beautiful.
turtleneck, and I told Erica I wanted to cut the sleeves.
Oh,
and she
yeah.
was like, I don't fucking care, sure. So she cut the sleeves, just for no reason. She's like, I don't give a shit.
Yeah, that was a lot
She
of
was
fun.
too busy dealing with Chris. Chris's outfit.
Chris
She's
was
like,
funny.
and Chris coming in and go, what if we change this? No. No. We're not changing it. I had an idea on the way here.
He's master at that.
I get it too. Like, yeah, you have the idea like right beforehand, but you have to realize that was a good idea if I had it a week ago.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like that's where it lives.
That's the beauty
It's a
of
shame.
filmmaking.
I'll tell you what,
Yep.
the right way to do it is because I had the idea for like the baby oil, but I was like, I can just pick up baby oil on the way. I'm not gonna tell Erica
exactly.
to go get my baby oil.
Could you please buy me
There
some
you
baby
go.
oil?
Baby, the
please?
baby. I'll bring a fresh
This
baby
isn't
for you right
for
here. That oil right now.
He's running low.
Can you get one from the baby
I just
bin?
need the baby oil.
I found it at a coffee bean. Jesus Christ.
So you're
I don't
going
need that much information.
Like,
I was doing camo, but they only had winter camo. So
Yeah.
That was fun.
I just wanted to crawl around on the golf course just in all white, like snow camo.
with the sniper scope on the club.
The dude, that was so rigged together last second.
Like zip ties and shit.
They, because we were on a time crunch, it was like, all right, we just got to keep moving. We're like, got it. And it was me and Eric, and we're like, got it. And then we took about 7 minutes on the
God
first hole.
damn, dude.
And we just started like rolling around. And Eric committed, he only kicked the ball the entire time.
Yeah.
He didn't use the golf club.
We're literally like, okay, we have X number of time per pair. You got to get through this. I'm like, all right. And then like Michael and Eric came and like doubled it.
And we got it
immediately.
though.
It's like,
Yeah.
We got the shots. We got the shots. That was another like just unscripted thing. We had the just like those random power-ups.
Oh, yeah,
and so
yeah.
I got like the exploding ball, and they were just like, I mean, if you hit it really hard, it's gonna blow up. but if you don't, I mean, it might not. And I'm like, what am I gonna not hit it really hard?
Yeah.
And so like we had no idea what was gonna happen. I just hit it and it exploded like baby powder everywhere. And Eric and I just look at each other and we just dive at it. Eric just keeps screaming, "My medicine, my medicine!" He was doing that. He did that. Two things he did the whole fucking time we were playing. He would keep going, "Time to take my medicine," and he would also say, "I'm gonna win the $100,000," and they cut all of it. They didn't. He said it every single hole. He's like, "Hole in one." He kept yelling "hole in one" too, and he goes, "I'm winning the $100,000," and they were just like, "Stop saying that." He just kept saying it, so they just cut it all out.
Did he tell Erica that's part of his bit too, or did he bring a la?
Eric doesn't tell anyone anything.
Yeah.
No, he didn't have anything.
Okay.
Yeah.
He just kept doing this, and he kept saying it.
Okay.
And they were like, "We're gonna cut around that."
I think, and like, no offense to Eric, but I think he was a fill-in for someone else, and they're like, "Do you want to do it?" And he's like, "Yeah." And they're like, "You don't have many options for costumes." He's like, "I don't fucking care." And then he just shows up and just kills it. One of the most entertaining
Because
players.
Eric, I think, as a person, belongs in that era because he was very like, late 60s, early 70s vibe with the vest and the bell-bottom jeans, and I'm like, I feel like Eric should just live.
Yeah. Dickhead,
Now, opposite of Chris,
Dickhead.
for Last Laugh, when they were taking ideas of like, hey, what do you guys want for production?
Chris said sunglasses and goggles.
Yes.
Welder's glasses.
I feel like with Erica, I always throw out the craziest idea, knowing that I'm probably going to get a no, that's not possible. But then I can come back with a kind of less crazy, and they'll go, okay, we can make that work. That's no problem. So when they were like, the ideas for Last Laugh, I at first wanted to do the thing from Boy Meets World where one of them hides in a couch as the other characters are like sitting on top of them in the scene, and it's revealed at the end of the scene that he's been in the couch the whole time. I think it's
You're
Eric.
thinking of Danny DeVito.
That's like
The makeup on your face thing.
that too. But they said, no, Lindsay, we can't build you into the set.
Also, I
Damn
think
it.
part of
At
the
the
show is
end
being
of it.
on it, not hiding.
Yeah, that too.
There's just a house rolled up to every green. Like,
I thought Lindsay was on Last Laugh. They are.
I think Erica had some follow-up questions too. She's like, wait, so would you be facing upwards? I'm like, well, ideally no, because then it'd be just ass in my face. I mean, I'll take the bullet if I need to, but I'd prefer to be face down. Thank you, Erica.
Face down.
Yeah.
Again,
ass
I'm with
up.
that.
That's the way I like
you would
the
be in the
couch.
back of the couch, like, looking out.
Yeah.
No. I
Yes,
lying
because then you
flat.
could see, staring at nothing.
Yeah.
You'd be looking
I
out
hear
as the
everything.
couch.
It's just like the John Cena thing where like little face.
You just do like what we did with Nick and the
Yes.
monkey mask. You put you in the couch and then we give a little screen and it's just your eyes like looking around through the mesh.
And then I crawl out and go, I want to be clean.
Something like that.
someone would sit down and you'd immediately go, oh.
Oh yeah.
That's
episode 4.
I just like that when Ryan was wearing glasses and everyone called him on it, everyone just started chanting, Chris, Chris, Chris.
Yep, that was funny.
Shameful.
You guys made me laugh right off the bat when you walked in and Michael goes, Lindsay? Michael? Oh, I thought it was her.
Oh, yeah, it's when you walked in.
Yeah,
I wasn't looking at you. You're like, Michael. I went, Lindsay.
I don't remember.
Yeah, that was your entrance.
Blanked it out. It was really funny.
Also, again, because I watched it, because I was like, oh, Last Laugh. Like, I don't know 80% of what was happening in this show. And even the shit I was in, I don't fucking remember.
Yeah.
Somebody was talking about something, like Lindsay or whoever was talking about a bit, and in like one of the episodes that came out already, and I went, oh, I missed that, like in the context of when it was happening. And I looked at the episode, and I'm like, oh, I'm right in the middle of it.
Yeah.
Like I'm fully a part of it.
Didn't
And I
realize
was
you were
like,
in it.
oh fuck, that was immediately gone. But you sit down, you're like, so what have you been doing for the last year? And I just go, waiting for this. And you started laughing. You also, I like, you're like, oh, you're like, oh, they got rid of food. Oh no, there's some. And I was like, there's bananas at the table. It was like right in front of you, and you're going, oh, there's food over there.
Behind the window.
It was nice though because like, and this isn't a spoiler, but like once we wrapped up the production, there was like not that feeling of dread from last year. I feel like a lot of us walked away like emotionally scarred.
I feel like
from last season.
I feel like the people from season 1 knew that.
Yeah.
And prepared more for that.
Right.
I think we discarded that before we started the show.
Yeah.
It also helped. I can't remember if we did or didn't do something like it in season 1 or not. But afterwards, because the advantage of that show is it's all shot in one day.
Mm-hmm.
Most of the crew went to like a big, like, kind of not really dinner, but like a bar / like food setting. So I got to like
Party, yeah.
communicate with people like a human being
Yeah,
after
yeah.
doing this like mind melt for fucking, it's 6 hours, but I mean, it was like 10, 12 hours.
Yeah,
bathroom breaks,
the full
The
day.
day with breaks and lunch and like, the like 2 hours of prep before the show starts and shit. So to have an actual conversation and like laugh at people who are funny, you know what I mean? And they'd be like, oh, that thing,
Nice.
it was like, oh, that thing you said that one time when no one laughed, that was really funny.
Yeah.
That's like most of what the conversation
Thank you,
was.
God.
Yeah. Like, oh, that was really funny when you
That
said
was all me
this.
talking to Mondo and Charlotte. I was like, cool. Charlotte's really funny too. I got to know her very well during last live.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Charlotte was great on Camp Trail. I was like, oh, we're buds now. And then that was the first time, like, I've been working with Mondo on a lot of different stuff. Like, I've been on his podcast and he's been on mine. And we've just, like, had this total bromance over the internet playing games together. And that was the first time I met him was during Last Laugh. And, God, motherfucker's big. He's tall.
He's a tall guy.
See, on the flip side of that, that's the first time I saw Kai in person, I think. Or at least that I...
Same.
Yeah. I know. Unless she came
tall,
to...
too.
She may have come to RTX or something. But
Yeah.
Anyway, I was like, oh, shit, Kai.
6
And we've been
feet.
working together for a while. I was like, well, neat.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's very tall.
I just remember though, like season 1, it was like weeks after, and James and I like were talking about it, and he said, "Yeah, I full on just like went to my hotel room and cried in the shower." And I said, "You did that too?" Like my girlfriend was like, at the time was like, "Are you mad at me? Like, did I do something wrong?" I was like, "No, you don't understand the kind of day that I just had." Like I almost had to break up because of season 1 of Last Laugh. It was scarring.
Plain just like,
Why didn't
I
have
don't
it
like
that
who I am
bad?
at work.
Just like laugh at a joke I tell.
It was
Please,
Please clap.
please.
Please clap.
It was yucky. Fiona just kept saying,
It's all
I'm
fake.
broken. I'm broken.
Broken.
I've gotten to the point, and there's a whole episode of Seinfeld about this, and I'm so mad at myself, but I can't stop it, is because of things like Last Laugh now, I'll be with friends or family, and someone will tell a joke, and I go, that's funny, instead of laughing at the thing
Oh, you
that
did
is
the
funny.
Andy Moore on Scrubs kind of thing?
Yes, and I'm like,
So funny.
stop,
Big
you gotta
pancake.
stop. Yeah, stop talking about how funny shit is, just laugh at it.
Look, sometimes
Enjoy
like,
it.
it's hard to, you can't force a chuckle.
I have certain phrases I go through too. Matt knows. I was just talking about how much I say "that's awesome" to people. Like
Yeah.
I have to stop saying.
We all have those ticks. Like,
Yeah.
I'm like 100%. I know
me.
I've got a bunch. I say
me. I don't
that's
have any.
amazing all the time. I say, all right,
Yeah.
to like move conversation. It drives me
goodness
crazy.
every 2 seconds.
Yeah, and I don't catch myself when I'm doing it normally, but then I listen to it on playback. And it's like,
Yeah.
fuck.
Matt just says
See-
booyah a lot.
Also, I was saying like all the time.
Yeah.
Matt's big one is Shazam. It's
I don't know why he did that.
It's weird when you catch it in the moment. You're like, what am I to do? I don't have any other vernacular. Let's just keep
For me,
pushing
it's
it through.
screaming in my head. Like,
Booyah.
stop saying that. For the love of God,
Oh, no,
say
I'm
something
hyper aware
different.
of everything. I say it and I go, got it again. Nailed it.
Yeah.
Damn it.
Fucking did it again.
Another perfect.
Another perfect take.
Got me.
I call my girlfriend dude or bro every now and then. Because we do a bunch of dude
Call
bro-y
everybody bro
things.
Yeah.
and guys.
Yeah. Yeah. But like,
Especially an East Coast thing.
But it's just like it's
all of the
not
human
romantic.
beings.
Yeah, I can
No.
see not romantic,
Well, I mean,
yeah. But-
you know.
I also call my kids bro and dog all the time. I go, what's up, brah?
yeah.
I call my dogs idiots. Like, what are you
Yeah.
idiots doing?
That's, I mean,
idiots.
it's a little more harmful to children.
And they
I guess so.
really.
Dogs, it's like, look, they'll never grow to resent you for it,
true.
so that's fine.
You'll appreciate this,
You
Jack.
little dumb idiot.
Yeah,
This was a
stupid
few
idiots.
days after we got our cats, and I'm just like walking around the house, and I hear Michael go, "Children, not human children."
Well, I'll be like children, and then it goes, you fucking idiot. The fuck are you doing? Get the fuck out of the, get off the windowsill.
They do that.
They
You're
love
still like,
going
what,
behind
you
the
could-
blinds.
Still don't
Yeah.
have confirmation yet.
They love going behind the blinds.
Stop licking your butt. Still not sure.
Who knows?
Cannot confirm nor deny.
We gotta wrap.
Yeah, we gotta get out of here.
Post show is fucking chomping at the bit to play chicken horse.
What?
The post team. Sorry,
not-
we're gonna do the
doing,
post show.
Yeah, we're doing the
Fuck
post
it
show.
up every time. Post
right.
Team H is gonna do that. Blaine, thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Jack, Matt, Lindsay, you're kind of obligated.
Yeah.
Yeah,
course.
required by
He could
law.
have said no.
Contract.
He could have said no.
The paycheck brought me here.
Just glad John let me
But
on.
the friends.
Look,
can
I just
stay.
told you. I just didn't tell him.
Thanks for watching, everyone. We love you. Stay safe. Get vaccinated. Register.
We're live throughout the week on
Get
RTTV, which is where you're watching it now, unless you're not. And Last Laugh Season 2, Episode 3 is out. Now, who will survive? Well, everyone survives.
Ooh.
That's dramatic.
I win the
They're
whole
just
thing.
Eliminated. And if you're watching live, stick around for the
Surprise,
Age.
Batman.
Post Team does stuff right after this with Ultimate Chicken Horse. It's a shame I won't be there, but they'll have to carry my torch.
Yeah, they will. It's a
We'll
big
catch you
torch.
next time. And Jack's going to get those hoverboard skate shoes.
I am.
And
Watch me
bye.
break an ankle.
Ramp it.
Be all
Yeah.
cool.
Bye.